Greetings.
Hello, everybody, Turtletarians and the like. This is your boy Ryan,
It's your boy Easy.
and you are listening to Turtle Soup, the internet, nay the world, nay the universe's only community-supported podcast dedicated to the ongoing journey of the TMNT all the way from the very beginning
Woo.
until I exactly figure out what cruel calculus Pop-Tarts uses to somehow make the wimpiest kind of not so good toaster pastry
Oh, them's
and
fighting
constantly
words.
be outbeaten by almost any brand of fake Pop Tart,
Ooh.
but maintain the first name in toaster pastries.
Right.
Like how when you make the thinnest one with the least frosting and the least filling, do
Oh
you
man.
maintain your name brand status when almost every fake Pop Tart I've ever tasted
Yeah.
is just better than
Really.
yours?
Oh goodness. I can't. I don't know. I don't know if I can go there with you. Except the only Pop Tart that I really like is brown sugar cinnamon. So like that's the standard, and that's really the only one that I think I get a confirmation with Shannon, my wife. So there's two for brown sugar cinnamon. Um,
Sugar
I know.
cinnamon is the equivalent of having sex through a hole in the sheet. No, I'm joking.
Jesus,
No,
Jesus, not
I'm
even a
joking.
minute
No,
in.
no, 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 no. I'm sorry.
I thought,
The analogy entered my head, and
and then
I had to say it. I had to
I
say it.
thought you
But
were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say that it is the control of Pop Tarts. That's the base. If your
oh
brown
no,
sugar
no,
cinnamon is
no.
good, then you're pretty well set. But
I
you went
deserve the
that way.
lashing. Of course, love cinnamon
Yeah,
brown sugar Pop Tarts. They are the golden standard. They are the
yeah,
equalizer, obviously.
yeah.
Um, I'm just saying that, I haven't been able to figure it out yet. I isolated the fact that any off-brand Pop Tart was better than a name brand Pop Tart, probably in my like late teens,
Right.
and I here I am, and I still have not figured out exactly what calculations are able to keep this ball in the air when literally they should sell probably like half the amount that like Publix Pop Tarts sell.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they actually do, but somehow they must be a loss leader or something. So the podcast is probably going to go on like a really long time, guys.
Probably.
So
I,
just
I
just
I have a
like
question
my
though.
apologies.
Were you
Yeah.
the kid in high school that was hiding the Pop Tarts in your locker because you were embarrassed to let the other kids see that you weren't eating? What was it?
Well, if
Toaster
it
strudel.
was if it was the same Pop Tart that the toaster strudel machine used to smear Pop Tart's good name, then yes, unfrosted Pop Tarts are the devil.
Yeah, absolutely.
You may
Yeah,
only eat them in any kind of good way by putting butter on top, and
that's
that's how
fair.
people in the 50s just die now. So what I'm saying is like that's not like really how you like probably should do that. That's
Right.
why you always wonder why like people in the 50s looked all skinny, and then by the 70s they all wore brown and were mega fat. It
Yeah,
was from
that's
like
why.
putting butter on top of untoasted Pop Tarts and being
Yeah.
like, well, that's savory.
Part of a
Um,
nutritious balanced breakfast. Right
Yes.
there.
So yes, if I was given only unfrosted Pop Tarts compared to delicious toaster strudels, yes, they would have been in my locker,
Yeah.
or probably in the garbage can. But
Goodness.
frosted,
Uh
I'm on.
so my wife showed me a this TikTok channel with this guy that's kind of like the old like when you're watching like I don't know some public service channel or something and they're showing you how things are made like the factory scenes of stuff
Yeah,
kind of similar to how Twin Peaks opens up with the log cabin and stuff and there's
yeah.
this
Right.
narrator.
Kind of like a show called How It's Made. Maybe
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
kind of
a
like
show
that
called How
one.
It's Made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a riff on that, and it's all serious until the end. They drop some deadpan, like horrible
Oh, that's
phrasing,
good.
and the term they use. I don't know if we can say it now anymore, but the term they use for how they get the frosting on the pastry was
Do tell.
hilarious. And yeah, I
Okay.
was like, oh, I didn't know that was a verb, but apparently it is a noun and a
It
verb.
can be.
So
It can
here
be.
we are. We learn something new every day. So
Anyways, if this is any indication, this episode's gonna be 3 hours to cover one comic.
yes,
We are
yeah,
live on YouTube, everybody. So be sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all the notification stuff, so you get all the
yes,
notifications. Share the stream on the social medias. People know we're live. It helps us out, and
hmm
it's super sweet.
it is
People that are super sweet are patrons. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Patrons are my off-brand Pop Tart. Like everybody in the world runs around like a Pop Tart, and I can eat those, and I find
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I got 2 boxes of blueberry Pop-Tarts, like the name brand, in my thing right now, because I just had to have blueberry, and they
to.
didn't have the off-brand.
Yeah.
Now, the off-brand Pop-Tart I still love and I eat it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you look at who's my off-brands, though.
Mm-hmm.
And we got two off-brands for you. You know what I'm saying?
We
We
do.
got two
Jesus.
prime, soft Pop-Tarts,
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts for you right
Yeah.
now. And that would be Anders Berg and Derek Reed. They are the two patrons that we are dedicating this episode to. Thank you
Yes.
guys so much for being patrons. And
That's all.
thanks to all of our patrons. You guys make our dreams come true, and it is amazing. And
It is.
if you want to be part of Patron Ranger and help the Foot Clan to not destroy the podcast,
yes,
you can go to patreon.com. You know what I'm saying? Check out Turtle Soup, see we done making one. You know what I'm saying?
It's
and
true.
Any little donation would be appreciated. You know,
Absolutely.
keep the home fires burning. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Speaking of burning, now this journey, we burned through a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Today is an august occasion. You know what I'm saying? Today is an important time. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing the Florida tuxedo, which is a tasteful hoodie zipped up most of the way.
Yeah.
That's a jacket. That's what we call a jacket around here.
Yep.
And a black t-shirt to symbolize it's a black tie affair. You know what I'm saying? However, it's a big deal. Where are we at on this journey right now, Eric? What are we doing today?
In the journey, we're all the way still in 1996, specifically June of that year. And we are officially starting our coverage of TMNT, or excuse me, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Volume 3 from Image Comics. And this is monumental because I don't believe that you or I have actually spent really any at all significant time with this volume, outside of maybe noticing a couple of covers here and there. But nevertheless, it's going to be nuts because this is the late 90s now, or well, it's still technically the mid 90s, I guess, because
we're getting there.
96, but we're getting there. And there's not too much to this this run. There's like I think 20 something, like I forget the exact number, but it's in the 20s. And yeah, it's apparently we're going to talk a lot about it, but it's a neat monumentous occasion to think that we're finally here, like we did it. So
we are.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, talking about things that we're excited about, Ryan, how you been? Are you excited about anything? Is there anything going on?
No, I am excited. So let's see things I'm excited about. So the big things I'm excited about right now is I am going to be teaching Alicia, my wife, and the Lex Lutz. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes,
Matt and Lex Excellent Venture if you need them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
good friend of the show, good friend
Absolutely.
of ours in life. I'm going to be teaching them guitar again, but with music theory.
Oh,
and
nice.
So this is I realized I taught both of them like what they know and helped them, and they taught themselves because I was basically like, here's how to play chords and not be dumb.
Right.
Like go online and look up chords you want to play and look up songs. You know, and then I'll be here if you're like chords sound dumb. I'm like, move fingers. You know, and that's really the instruction I gave. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like it was kind of like that.
Learn at your own pace kind of thing.
Because when you're getting somebody, you know, who just wants to functionally just play a song. Someone's like, I just want to be able to play the guitar, look up chords, see the, you know, I mean, I don't necessarily know the chords off the bat, but I see the tab for how to play the chords. I learn it and I can play it, and that's what I want to do. That's all you really need to do, right?
Yeah.
But like Lex wanted to get a new guitar, and we were just talking about it, and it was kind of like, you know what, like you both could use some theory. You know what I'm saying? Like let's make this a thing. So 2022 is the year of the guitar. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing. And so I've been writing up a big lesson plan for how to teach theory to them in a cool way. And it's really cool because it's making me dive back into my theory, right? Like you know what you know a lot. There's obviously holes. Like we're both self-taught guitarists, so like so is Father Preston. So we kind of learned a lot, maybe watched some videos, read some articles, blah, blah, blah. We know things, but there's some gaps. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking really forward to kind of like filling out those spaces like this year with the guitar. You know what I mean? And like really filling in some of my own knowledge gaps and kind of helping them along the way. So,
well, that's cool.
Yeah, so Lex ordered a super sexy Jaguar.
I saw that. She sent me a picture of that, and I might have to get that same one eventually because it's so buttery.
Like, it looks so good. Like
those Fender classic vibes.
Those damn classic vibes. I ordered, or actually I watched a video on a guy literally doing a setup on that guitar,
Oh, okay.
like in preparation. Like I just
Yeah.
found one, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna set up this classic vibe Jag. It needs some help to make it really good, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
work on it." And I literally got all his tips, like the stuff that it doesn't like, the stuff that's not set up out of the factory. Like when you get
Hmm.
it, you're like, "Okay, this needs help."
Right. Right.
So I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? When that guitar
That's
gets
awesome.
here,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the thing in the workshop, and we're gonna get it right, and
Nice.
then it's gonna be guitar time.
Guitar time.
So yeah,
That's
super
legit.
super happy with that. That's my probably the big thing I'm burning on right now is that, and just loving that. And the other thing I think would be
Mm.
really coming to enjoy playing video games with my son,
Mm.
like back and forth, either like me coaching him up or him coaching me up and watching.
Oh,
We've
nice.
been doing a lot of that lately. Like,
Yeah.
we got that PS5,
Hmm.
praise be, you know what I'm saying, and we basically
Yeah.
like we share it. You know what I'm saying? We both
Hmm.
want to play those hot titles. We both want to
Right.
play that game, but we can't do it at the same time. So um yeah, so I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, and he's been kind of like there while I'm doing it. So we're kind of talking things out
Oh,
and
that's
whatever, and it's
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah.
See, it's cool because he brings a bit of that Fortnite to it that I
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah.
Because you have like a bow and arrow, and you have like a half
Hmm.
bow, which is like a small bow, and then you have like the full bow, which that boy is like,
Yeah.
will go through armor.
Right.
And he's got me doing trick shots now.
Oh, really?
Like before, yeah, before I was just like, well, let me like get into a safe space and like,
Yeah.
snipe this dude and whatever. And August is like, I don't know, man, you probably, I don't know, y'all back up a little bit. And I'm like back up to where he's like, back over by that rock over there. I'm like, that's
Right.
far away. He's like, but bro, if you hit it, bro.
Right.
But if you hit
If
it,
you
I'm
do it.
like,
If you do it.
true. So then he taught me like actually how to clip stuff on the PS5 is super easy. You just hit share and it says,
Oh.
"Oh, you
Oh.
want to save a
Right.
clip?" And then it
Hmm.
just says like last 15 seconds, last 30 seconds, like, and you just click
Yeah.
it and it's saved,
Oh,
right? And
that's
like
cool.
saving clips on PS4 is a little harder.
Yeah.
Because he's done a lot of that with Fortnite. So he's got me saving my sniper shots now,
Oh, that's
like my
fantastic.
clips.
That's awesome.
And it was really fun because he was kind of like, I tell you what, he's like, I kind of want to play that game. Like when you're done
Yeah.
with it, he's like, so like, I'll clip my best bow shots and we'll like go head to head and kind of look at like who got the
Oh,
sicker
man.
shots and stuff. And I'm like, that's the promise of the premise right there. So
Oh. Oh.
that's been
All
filling me
day.
with joy too.
That's
So that's
amazing.
kind of been, things have been on the upswing. You know what I'm
Oh, that's
saying? Things have
fantastic.
been on the upswing. You know what I'm saying?
That's excellent.
So yeah. So how about you, man?
Oh, so I'm super excited because I finally did a thing in my adult life that I don't think I've done
Mm.
yet, and that was actually go into
Oh,
a mattress firm and buy a mattress.
that's
So
a moment.
it is a moment. Our bed
That's a
now
moment.
is like horrible. Like I wake up feeling like I've been beat up. It's really bad. And
Yeah. No,
so
when a mattress goes, it goes overnight, it feels like
yeah.
a mattress is at like 85%,
Hmm.
and you're like, oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Then it's like 30%.
Yeah.
Like
Just
like it
all of a
just
sudden.
instantly it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Ugh.
it's been rough. So we finally decided to pull the trigger and we go in, and I found I feel like I don't know. I feel like you kind of just are this way anyway because you're a legit dad. Like you're a real dad. I go into dad joke mode just immediately
Oh,
once upon
of
any
course.
kind of like situation where I have to like I don't know any awkwardness I guess. So I go in there, and apparently our bed is named Charlotte, and so I'm asking questions as if I'm adopting a pet. So I'm like, hey, so is that its name? Is that their name like perpetually, or like can I change it? And the lady, she was rolling right with
Mm.
me. She's like, no, that's you got to keep calling it Charlotte. I'm like, okay, that's fine. How many cats can this bed fit? And asking like all these weird questions. Thankfully she was playing along for the most part, but yeah,
Sounds good.
it was like by default I just couldn't stop. I was running them left and right, just like hitting them, and I was happy and proud of myself, but also like ashamed in a weird way, I guess, just because I was like, wow, that was way too easy for me. But nevertheless, turns out it's not a front like we used to think that they were. They actually are. I saw three other people or
Yeah.
couples come in there, and it's very weird going and buying mattresses during COVID times because you're watching other people lay on these mattresses and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is
And
weird.
and
Well,
you're
I'm
like,
gonna have to take my
yeah.
one bath this week. So yeah. But
well, this is my one opportunity not to drop the ring. I hope I do it.
Right, exactly. So I'm excited about that, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, really fast. I can just say my input on that is mattresses are 100%. So if you look up, and kids, cover your ears if you're a little one. If you look up bullshit in the damn dictionary, like the seventh like definition of bullshit is mattress pricing. It just says those two words. It says mattress pricing.
Interesting.
And you're like, so you look up mattress, and then under mattress it says, see also pricing, see also bullshit. Right? Like
even if you look under the mattress, it says the same thing.
It does.
Yeah.
It's on that tag they don't let you remove.
Because
everyone needs to know. Like everyone needs to have a living memory of like mattresses pricing is kind of bullshit. Because what other business exists where you can have a thing that you say is worth $3,000. Mm-hmm. Okay? You say this bag of fluff with springs in it is worth 3,000 buckaroos. Mm-hmm. And then on freaking President's Day, shit is $800. What other business, like, I mean, outside of like Harbor Freight, where they tell you something's $1 and then you get $1 back, actually. Right, yeah, like, they pay that's kind of the opposite, right? But like, so they swing it that way. But mattresses are absolute crazy. We've bought 2 in our time. Yeah. Together. And me and you. And then with my wife, I've bought 2 as well. Right. But with Alicia, my wife, we bought 2. Yeah. And each time was a whole 9 yards. The best story about we did a similar. It wasn't as crazy as asking all the questions, which I think is hilarious. Yeah. It was. We did one thing where we went to look at a Serta, and then, like they had like the little Serta sheep. It's like their little guy. Their little mascot. Yeah. Well, they had like a Serta sheep, like little stuffed animal, sitting on top of this mattress we were looking at. Mm-hmm. And they're like, ladies, like, look, man, like that mattress is gonna be $2,500 or whatever. And we're like, right? And then Alicia goes, well, if I'm paying $2,500 for a mattress, I want the damn Serta sheep too. Like, I want that actual boy. And they're like, oh, like, well, we just don't know. And I love that because that was so that's just a moment that like reaffirms all your life choices. Where I'm like, oh god, because that's exactly what I would say. That is that Merle Hagler. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm gonna pay you an exorbitant amount of money, I'm gonna literally get this extra thing. I want the damn stupid stuffed animal. And then it was so funny because like the lady was like, well, I don't know. We really, because I think she senses there's a sale, and she's probably made 2 sales in her whole life, like in her whole ass life. Right. There's probably been 2 sales, and like I said, it's not on her. It's just on Mattress Store. Mattress Store probably sells a mattress a month. So she's like, is it my month? Is it my time? Mm-hmm. But it was a promotional item that they had to like have around, and like if they gave it away, like they'd be in trouble. And we literally didn't buy the mattress.
Oh, just walked out.
Literally, Merle Hagler walked away because the Serta sheep was like not a thing. We walked away.
Man, yeah, I couldn't think of any sheep jokes to make. Like I just couldn't for some reason when I was there. But
you're good. No, you know what you did. What I mean, it's Omicron. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you got to get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's Omarion.
You're lucky.
They got me.
Omarion.
Yeah, OmegaCon. Yeah, that's what that is. It's just
it's OmegaCon. Okay, gotcha. You know? Okay.
I told you about that, right? How like every one of my in-laws say the virus differently. It's
they say Omicron different.
I haven't technically heard them say this variant of it, but they say they called it Cover. They called it Cover a ton. Oh. They're like, oh yeah, the Cover's fake. That's what some of them were saying. And then there was another one that they pronounced it a different way, and it was just like, so my wife Shannon and I we just kept making them up, just ridiculous each time.
Yeah.
Saying
Yeah.
But when we're like when she's on the top bunk, like before we're going to bed, she's shooting it back and forth. But I forgot that there's something else that I'm excited about. The mailman came today. And Ryan,
not the email man. I think the email man might be coming in a second, but the email man's coming around the corner. I saw him. The email man's going to drop off our next batch of emails. Absolutely.
I saw him start on the other side of the street, and so then he'll make his way back here. So that's what the email was. But the real mailman, they came by today, and Yeah, you ready for this? We got
Carl
we got
Malone?
some presents.
Carl Malone came by?
No, that's the realest mailman. That's just the mailman. There's no real.
Carl Malone.
Carl
If his
Malone.
Twitter handle is not at the real mailman, I'm upset.
Oh, I am totally mad.
I'm not
totally
happy.
Mad.
I'm not. The world is a construct, right. And I don't belong.
So
the real mailman came.
The real mailman came, and yeah, let me see if I can get all this here. It's kind of heavy. So
you told me you all right. So behind the scenes, you told me that we received some mail.
Yes.
From a Turtletarian.
Yes.
And that's all I know. So I'm like this is an unboxing live with you guys. Like for me.
So I've opened this and seen this because the mail comes to my parents' house. So I went there. They sent me a message. My dad I got a text that says ho 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 because my mom always says that Santa came. So yeah, there you go.
Oh,
and so
codes.
Yeah. And so I got off work, went to the house, and they were all like, "What'd you get? What'd you get? It's kind of heavy." And I'm like, "Oh, it is kind of heavy. I don't know what this is." And the box was addressed to Turtle Soup (parentheses Eric and Ryan), which is super cute. And yeah, very well packed, amazingly packed. And I'm like, okay, let's open this. Let's open this. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. First of all, let me say who it's from real quick. This is from, I want to get it right, Jeremy Gray. So Jeremy Gray, thank you in advance. This is amazing. And I was blown out. My parents were blown out. They were like, what? This is amazing. Like, I got more to tell you about that. So let me see. Let me see if I can do it and get the reveal right. So this is kind of what we're looking at. Okay. Kind of a hefty thing.
A little hefty thing.
So I'm going to do a little tease for you. And
okay.
This is one of two. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is it this way? Yes.
What?
Look at this, Ryan. This is a stone. This is artwork on a stone, Ryan, that was sent to us of Michelangelo.
Crap.
How cool is this? This is amazing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Michelangelo with his nunchucks, looking badass.
That is so good.
On a heavy ass rock that was sent in the mail by the mailman. Yeah, it is so good. Jeremy, this is so awesome. So yeah, so he only sent one for me. It was only for me. That's all that was in the box, Ryan. So just for oh, I'm kidding. There's more. So let me see. What's this one? Oh, there's something else. All right, you ready? Let me make sure it's okay.
Let's do it.
Right,
oh my God.
Here we go.
Okay.
Unveiling.
Open
for the
it up.
ASMR
Yep.
people. Here you go. Here's the.
Oh.
Look at that. It's your boy Donatello with that reaching staff.
Oh my God. No way with that reach.
On a stone. Dude.
Oh, it's all shiny looking and stuff.
Yeah, dude. This is so good.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
dude.
This is awesome. So, yeah. So Jeremy, thank you so much. Yeah. So again,
I got. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I go.
Are you tearing up?
Oh my God. No. That is so thoughtful. That's such a thoughtful gift. That is amazing.
So like my parents were there when I opened it, and
yeah,
they were like totally like, oh my God, they were freaking out. They were like, that's amazing. And they were like,
yeah,
you got to find this dude and like all this stuff. And like, I just got off work, so it was a little weird. So I was like, well, let me look up. And I found that he has a Pinterest page and it's got the stuff there. And yeah, it's pretty neat. So Jeremy, thank you so much for these.
Wow.
And,
yes.
Yeah,
thank
they
you
were
so much.
really
That
impressed. And
amazing.
so are we. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to find a way to display them when we get the new, the new studio set up.
City.
So yeah,
absolutely.
But like, oh, I'm so.
I might put
like,
that right next to my neck of leatherhead. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there you go.
Just Holly, going to watch over it. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure you watch over it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So
that is amazing, Jeremy. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that. That's.
Oh, he's got his initials on the bottom too. Oh,
it's the art is the art is so good too. Like the highlighting and like the it just looks really good.
It's neat. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
I was really taken with it.
We'll have to throw for the audio listeners. We'll have to throw a pick. You know what I'm saying? A pick up on the.
Oh yeah. We'll have to put that in the group if you're not a member.
Yeah.
Turtle Soup Show on Facebook, the group.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents were like, "Oh my god, if I saw those at one of Shannon's, because Shannon, my wife, her and I, we do the markets and stuff. They're like, if I saw those at the market, I'd buy them. I'd buy them." And I'm like, "Yeah, they're impressive."
No,
So
they look fantastic.
yeah, so that's awesome. So yeah, thank you again so much. And yeah,
Awesome. Yes, thank
that
you,
just
sir.
warms my heart. Yes, so that was.
That's
Oh, do I hear the email man? Is the email man coming?
Is that
Is
when
that
the
an
email
email?
when the email man comes?
Yeah.
He like when the email man drops your emails in the email box. It sounds just briefly like the old internet connecting, just for a bit. So
Just for a second.
It goes like, and it goes away, and you're like,
Right.
oh, that's my email.
But
You know
what
what I
if
mean?
like
Oh, my.
but what if you have the awkward moment where you catch the email man delivering your email and he talks to you, but it's the same voice from the "you got mail," like how AOL used to sign off, but that's his actual voice, like all compressed and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just asking you, "Hey, how's it go?" Or however it is.
Well, I heard that if you look the email man in the eyes,
yeah,
you're not the same after. So I always kind of keep my eyes like down. You know,
exactly.
You guys want to know why I wear a hat all the time? You know, it's not just because I'm bald, because I show that off all the time. It's mainly for the brim.
You're right.
So that when the email man comes, I can be a base. I can just look down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like show my respect, and my little peepers won't like pop up and have a gaze into his
exactly
beneficence. You know what I'm saying? So when the email came, email man showed up. I didn't look him in the eyes. Who does that?
No, who does that?
But we did get a couple emails from Turtletarians. I want to read. You know what I'm saying? This first one is from our man Malik, bringing in the New Year's green. You know what I'm saying? Happy New Year, Turtletarians. It's Malik, and I come bearing an update on the progress of my TMNT fanfiction, Heroes in a Hard Shell.
That's right. Yeah.
And he gave us links to it,
so
and there's an info page as well, so we will check that out, definitely. We always support the TMNT fanfic and stuff like that. It's super good. So we will check that out, Malik, and we'll give you some of our... he says he welcomes advice. You know what I'm saying? And I will writer's room some stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of what it's built for. I think that was kind of my miscalling, was just a writer's room, other people's good ideas. So I'm in. During my re-listens to your previous episodes, I noticed your disappointment with the rather lacking bland descriptions for most of the 1992 Mutations figures. So I did not get ready. Your boy Malik takes us on a journey. Okay, on his own journey. He's on a side stream right here. He's on a side path.
Iron sharpens iron, my friend.
Iron sharpens iron.
So
Malik.
if we're slacking, you call us out loud and wrong, whatever it is. You let us
know.
That's what we're here for.
No. It's nothing. No.
Oh, it's good.
He said yes, it's good. He said that we were disappointed. He said he noticed our disappointment because the descriptions on the Mutations figures from '92 were just rather kind of boring and bland, and we were like, where's that alliteration? Where's that humor? Where's that innuendo? Like, where's all that stuff that we look for in these descriptions, right? Like, you know. And so he says, so I decided to take a shot at writing my own versions of the descriptions. Also in November, I wrote to former Mirage alumni Dan Berger, asking about the T files, and in parentheses, little character bios he did for the TMNT website back in the day. Lasted from 96 to late 2003, around the end of season 1 of the 03 show.
Oh, okay.
I also asked if he would have been able to do profiles for characters like Angel and Karai. Here's his response in his own words. First, he says, please call me Dan. I'm an old geezer now, but being called Mr. makes me feel even older. See, Malik's got that...
Always a gentleman.
Malik's got that respect. He's got that respect. Put that respect on Dan's name. You know what I'm saying? I made up the T-File stuff that wasn't already established as canon elsewhere. Kevin and Peter gave me a free reign on the site, so most of the content that was posted there was written by me. From what I recall, the majority of the character profiles were supposed to be amusing, like Shredder's, but I added a bit of gravitas to some of them, like Rat King's. Unfortunately, my memory is pretty horrible, so my familiarity with Angel and Karai is too thin to attempt to write profiles for them. Back in the day, when I was totally immersed in the various TMNT verses, I was confident enough to write the profiles, but things are too foggy for me to feel comfortable having go at it now. I'm sorry. Then Malik says, and then I told him that I then told him that I'd give it a try, give it a shot myself, and he replied, "I'm sure you could do a better job than me," with a smiley face.
Dang.
He says, anywho, by the time you're reading this, 2022 is settling in, and hopefully I've completed my rewritten TMNT Mutations descriptions for you guys to see. And he says, update, I'm seeing the first 3 descriptions for Leo, Dawn, and Rocksteady. More on the way. That's very interesting. I'll have a look at those.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
for my late Christmas gifts, I give you a bunch of TMNT 2003 music files you can use for your eventual coverage of that series, and most of which you can just use for the podcast in general, as well as some unused theme songs, 1 for the first season and 4 which would have been used for season 7.
Oh snap! Dang.
And yeah, and so he sent us a bunch of links to the unused music, which is really sick, and
Mm.
links to his fan fiction stuff. So yeah, and
Malik.
then I think he did send along the descriptions for mutations. We will read them later. We
Oh
don't have
yeah,
time to read them
yeah.
on
I
the show
want to
today,
get them
but
together
we're
and do
we're
that.
we're putting this email in the spank bank. So
Oh definitely.
but
And
yeah, Happy New Year to you, Malik. Number one,
yeah, definitely.
thank you for writing in. Always love to hear people talking about Dan Berger because
Oh,
like he's
Dan
awesome.
Berger,
And
near and dear. Jesus, like he is up there as like because he wrote the did the comic strip, right? Yeah, I believe
yes,
that was him, and that like the comic strip is one of my favorite turtle things ever done. So good. And yeah, so I'm a huge Dan Berger fan. And I think he even like listened to the show at one point because we were talking like really good, like we were saying a lot of good things about the comic strip, and I think someone had told us
oh,
that they were in correspondence with him. I
yeah,
forgive me, it's been a while, but
I
but
remember
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But that's really neat, and that's awesome that you're doing all that. But
Super cool
real
run.
quick before I forget,
Yeah.
Malik, thank you for hooking us up with your cool uncle, if you know what I'm saying. And
Mhm.
that was
Yeah,
tremendous.
something pretty heroic
Yeah.
came out of it.
Yes,
And
definitely. You saved me, and your
you
cool
made a
uncle saved
contribution
me a
to turtle
ton of time.
to Turtle Soup kind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One
Yeah.
small step
Right.
to the cool uncle's house. One giant leap for Turtle Soup. You know what I'm
But yeah,
saying?
yeah.
That's
But we're definitely gonna read them, and so get them to us
yes.
whenever they're all done, and we can just do like a whole thing with them. Probably, we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. So was there any other emails?
Yeah, we have one more.
Oh, okay, excellent.
So yeah, we have one from John Klein. You know what I'm
Ooh.
saying? Always active in the pregame chat. Always active
Yep.
in the live chat. Hey, Glob Papas. You know what I'm saying? uh, I wanted to send in a quick note about the TMNT image run. It came
Okay.
out June of '96.
Right.
I was 14 and ready for a more mature Turtles comic.
Mm.
I felt I had graduated with the series. You know what I'm saying? When your boy
Oh, that's
Splinter
neat.
busts out with that, like, I could teach you no more. You know what I mean? Like, your boy John was like, yes, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Such a great run. Some amazing Turtles content. The image tie-ins could have been better.
Mm.
I write that, but my lovely wife treated me to both volumes of Urban Legends that collects all 25 image issues, and I
Oh.
enjoyed reading them again, and even the image tie-ins were not as bad as I originally remembered. Super impressive. It took you 275 episodes to get here, but you started at the beginning, and now you look at a brand new beginning. Oops,
Oh.
276. That's so good because I was just about to say like
Oh,
technically
that's so good.
276
Oh, but
because episode zero.
he's breaking my brain with this new
Yeah,
beginning.
he is new
Goodness, John Klein.
beginning,
This
and
is
he
the second
says
time. Hold on, this is the second time John
no.
Klein did this to me tonight. With that, so in the pregame, he brought up the fact that probably everyone who's listening is not going to be alive when Spider-Man 2099 becomes a reality. Thanks again, John Klein.
Absolutely.
Thanks again. Yeah.
Thanks for that nightmare fuel.
Yes.
He
Anyway,
says
continue.
that precious zero episode every time. I guess it is true. Every end is a new beginning. You know what I'm saying? Just nuggets of wisdom.
Dang.
He says he closes with Bob Saget's passing. That has shook me more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
I've been super anxious about my other podcast hosts' well-being, so please keep in good health and spirits. Love, John. I'm gonna try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to apologize really fast. I hate we hate to date the show, but I'm just gonna say that Bob Saget, passed away in an untimely manner at 65 in our home state of Florida in Orlando.
Yep. 45
And
minutes away.
I want to apologize. Yes, unfortunately, about 41 minutes away from the itty bitty.
Yeah.
I want to say that I apologize to the world and that I don't know what happened. I think all Floridians probably need to take a hard look in the mirror. That's usually hard. We break our mirrors. That's kind of a thing we do.
We do.
Like
It's a thing.
It's a lot. Like if you look at the cover of Black Sabbath's Damaged, like that's kind of like we see in the morning is like a fist and then a broken mirror.
Yep.
That's kind of like what we see.
Yep.
So even though introspection through the mirror is difficult, we apologize.
We do
for what happened to Bob Saget. And
you trusted us with him. and that's what happens.
We can't have nice things here, and
Mm-mm.
yeah, no, and yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, it's hard to transition off of that, but
It
that's
is.
where I'm at.
It is.
So yeah, thanks a lot, John, for the email.
Mm-hmm.
And a new beginning.
Yep.
276 episodes in, we are beginning Image Volume TMT Volume 3, the Image
Right.
Run number 1.
We are.
So did you have anything else before we get into the issue,
I
or
do. I do. So real quick, as this happened, the beauty of doing this live is that y'all get to interact with us. And so if you're not on YouTube, like you should get on there and like hang out, because like there's a lot of, stuff going on in the chat right now. So we appreciate all you do, all y'all in there. But like Noah Overton reached out to me and said that he's actually the one who sent the stones. Now, thank you for that, Noah, because I was like, what is, like, I did not really recognize
Yeah,
Jeremy's name, but I was like,
no,
I remembered
this is
that
live, guys.
I remembered that someone had asked me for our mailing address, and I completely forgot that it was Noah. Not that I forgot, but like, when you see a different name
Sure,
on the
no,
package,
I mean, you think about it,
it's
yeah.
kind of weird. And then somebody else today had asked me about it, so I was kind of like, just didn't even register the two. But it was so funny because my parents were asking me if I knew Jeremy, and I was like, the name doesn't really ring a bell. But let me check all our stuff, and he wasn't on any of our stuff, any of our groups and stuff. I'm like, this is very strange that we're just getting this from him. But then I found him on Pinterest and like his store, and he's got a bunch of this rock art, which is really neat. And yeah, so Noah just sent me a message saying that, hey, I was actually, and I think he said it in the chat too, that he was the one that sent it, and the guy just sent it directly to us. And so, which was kind of neat, which is what threw us off. But so, having said all that, Noah, thank you so much for this. Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, no.
And so,
So
I'm
that
so
is the
excited.
benefit of being live.
Yeah.
Yeah, Noah, thank you so much. Jeremy Gray, you do great work. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes.
Fantastic. Noah, I just take all the gushing I did and just transfer it to your holy name.
Yeah.
His black beltness. I
Yep.
apologize, and I thank you sincerely
Yes.
for those. I am seriously, I'm like, kind of, you might notice I've been kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
like looking around because I'm scoping out a spot where I'm like, where would a rather large, like polished stone fit
Right. Yeah.
upright
Yeah.
in my situation? And I'm looking around, just Harley's like, don't give it to me, I'll break it. I'm like, I know you. See, it's the problem.
I'm gonna put it
Like,
in
you
my
know what I mean?
mouth.
Like it's all this stuff. I look over, I got this battle sister up here from 40K, and she's like, praise the emperor. I'm like, I can't trust you with it.
Nope.
And it's just, I'm looking around, and there's just, yeah, so I gotta find a good place for it.
Yeah.
But thank you again, Noah, so much. That is,
Yes. Thank you so much.
that just hits me near and dear. You know what I'm
It
saying?
does.
That's what it is.
It does.
In the chat, I think John Clemens says we got to get that crying warmed up for Sandwich Con, and I agree.
Oh yeah.
We're already getting it started. So that is our emails. That is our real mails. I think the only thing we're missing is chatting with real males near you. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Which you're about to do now as you
Yeah.
review this comic. So yeah, are you good to hop on in now to this issue?
I think so. So yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do this thing. So it is momentous, everyone.
It is.
This is Image Comics TMNT number 1. This is
Mhm.
from June of 1996. And it is an august occasion because we previously did body count, right?
Right.
This body count, just by way of background for the context of the journey, body count was a limited 4-issue series released at first by Mirage. It was
Yes.
1 issue. Then Mirage was like, comics, we don't want to make those anymore. So then Image, with the help of Eric Larson, released effectively what Mirage already had. For body count under the Image title. Now, this was a kind of a cool introduction because it did feature the artwork of Simon Beasley,
Yes.
famed English counterculture artist, and written and laid out by Kevin Eastman. So, and we talked about when we reviewed that. Definitely go back and check all that out.
Definitely go back because especially the last episode. What episode is this? Let me look on the screen. 274. Check out 274 if you can get to the end of the whole review if you want to skip everything, because we get into like a huge review that's really good at summarizing the whole thing, and I just enjoyed that so much because you had like people who liked the cartoon and the juxtaposition of what was going on with the cartoon then with the English counterculture art that was coming out of this of body count. It was great. I loved that conversation that we had, so thank you guys for that. But if you missed it, go check it out. But
absolutely. So it was definitely a rather large, bloody rock thrown into what was a very still pool at the time.
Yes.
And we discussed all of the fallout and the different loves and hates from that divisive situation. Now, all during this, and this is important this is how I kind of connect things into the spider web in my head.
Mm-hmm.
In the letter section of body count.
Right.
Eric Larson is getting, I love this, I hate this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm indifferent to this, why do comics cost so much goddamn money? Like, he's getting all these comments, and all he can really answer is the comics thing, which is like, why does it cost so much money? The rest of it is him struggling to say, I'm literally pressing play on the record player, I am literally pressing print, home, print.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm in those menus.
Yeah.
This isn't my work. This is not my shit, and honestly, I am gonna work on the turtle, so please stay tuned. Right? He had to kind of deal with this for like 4 months of time, as people were just like absorbing what that body count situation was.
Everybody's out there wanting to hang the DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they're doing. So
that's a dark episode of Black Mirror. Is all I'm saying. It's like, watch with caution. It's great, but it's terrible. So, now we come upon June of 1996. We have. Image has the turtles. Now, this is an ad that was in Image Comics. It looks there like that was maybe on the back of an Image comic for a while.
I believe it was.
It looks like the back of a comic.
If I'm not mistaken, and again, shout out to TMNT Entity. If you're a Turtles fan and you haven't used that website, you need to go check it out because they're well worth your time. We've spent so much time on that site.
Absolutely.
And they feature this like on the page 4, volume 3, and I thought it was pertinent to talk about here. So again, shout out to TMNT Entity. This ad, dude, according to them, if I'm not mistaken, was in, I believe, the last issue of Body Count, as in like, hey, you're done with this, get ready for this. And so this ad, it's so 90s, it's unbelievable. Very much the whole go ahead. It reminds you of what?
You're probably gonna go right here. It reminds me of Battletoads attacking the TMNT.
I was not gonna go there. What was their thing?
It was a lot of this. It was like taking something like that looked vaguely TMT and like marking it up.
Oh, okay.
And basically saying like these mutant amphibians really do kick ass. And like it would be the image of like the one Battletoad with like his foot as the huge boot, like kicking a bad guy. Like it was like stuff like that. Like it was definitely this idea of like, oh, those cheesy cartoon turtles, like come play a game with some green dudes that actually whip ass, right? Like, and that was their angle. This reminds me a little bit of like that.
Absolutely. There's two things. See, you're right. I do remember those ads. I just couldn't remember if there was a specific thing that they said. But the two specific things that I do remember that this is very evocative of is the Sega does what Nintendo don't. Like those ads.
What Nintendo don't.
That's what this is. And then the Marvel the X-Men cards that they were like the X-Men series, I think it was series 1.
Silver series?
No, it was I believe it was the one with the blue outline, not the red one. But regardless, it says that, or no, it might have been the red and purple. That's what it was. So that was the series 2. It has Juggernaut on it, and I always hated it because it was an ad in like every Marvel comic, and it said not your kid's favorite your kid's favorite mutants aren't green or aren't turtles or something, and I always hated that because they use Juggernaut as the card, and Juggernaut's not a mutant.
Not a mutant.
It didn't make any sense.
No, it's the freaking gem of Sidorak, you idiot.
Exactly. And
sorry, I said that wrong. It's a gem of Sidorak, you idiot. Like
you gotta push the goggles up.
You got like gem of Sidorak. It's a gem of Sidorak. You got to do that. Like that's an important thing. Not a mutant. Yeah.
So what this ad is it's the cover, which we'll get to in a second, but it's the cover art for number 1 of Image Volume 3, and it says it has Cowabunga Dude written at the top, and it's like crossed out, and it says, "Screw that. These ain't those cartoon turtles you watched as a kid. You grew up, so did they." And then they have a pizza with a what is the actual name of that? Where it's the circle with the line through it.
I used to know that.
Guys, let us know in the chat if you know what the circle with the line through it. Basically saying like,
I gotta look it up now.
oh, you're gonna do it? Okay, yeah, because it's too much. Because
Yeah.
it has to have a name. That has if it's just the circle sign with the line through it, that's gonna really disappoint me.
No, there's a name, and it's just like the time that I had to know what an auto stereogram was.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that if you look close, you see the sailboat from Mallrats. It's like
right.
You have to cross your eyes.
Magic eye.
It's an auto stereogram. I had to know the name for that at some point, and I drilled it in my head so I'd always know the name instead of calling it the thing that you look at. No, the thing that you cross your eyes. Like I looked this up too.
Yeah, because this is something that you don't think you need to know it until you do, and then you're on a live podcast and you can't remember it. John Klein in the chat says Ghostbuster symbol is what I call it. So yeah, that's that. That's what I would call it too. The ad continues to say image style. Expect these turtles to move fast! ! And yeah, that's pretty interesting. I kind of like that because, you know, that's one thing that they don't actually touch on a lot of the times with the turtles and almost any of the incarnations, or at least as far as what we've talked about. They don't really talk about or the trope of turtles moving slow. Have you noticed that? Like they never really address that.
That's honestly, like they usually stay away except for the obvious symbolism of bringing Usagi Yojimbo into the TMNT universe.
Right,
tortoise and the hare.
Yeah,
they stay away from a lot of that, like the tortoise wins the race, like kind of BS. Like they kind of move. They don't really do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, expect these turtles to move fast. Image style. The image style is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles image style. You know what I mean?
It says so much with that.
It's a big call. It's calling the shot pretty hard. But I love that because that is, I think, in the zeitgeist. I think that and it's funny because you go back on the journey, we see this as far as during the Mirage guest star era. In the guest star era, there are comics being printed. This is a meta. Comics being printed by Mirage, who run Surge Licensing, which is putting all the Turtles pepperoni sticks and Turtle skateboards and Turtles, whatever watch bands, all over everything you ever did, plus the animated series. There are independent comic artists publishing TMNT comics in Mirage at the time, referencing how ridiculous the TMNT property has gotten. It is like the most meta thing, and we always love to call it out and really analyze it. Mark Eden and McWeeny did that a ton on in their issues. There was a lot of that reference to how out there Turtles have gotten, and this is in the zeitgeist. People have been waiting for this. I mean, it wasn't a formal marketing campaign, but this kind of stuff and preview stuff was even done inside the Turtles' own line by its creators. I mean, think about the hype up for City at War. Like starting in Shades of Grey and City at War, there was a lot of like previews that basically said like the guest era is over. We are coming back. Like we are bringing a turtle story to you, and it was trying to even say like this silliness is over.
Yeah.
But this is a big one. So so this is the ad, and of course we go from that to our cover. Yeah. So this cover is by Eric Larson. Colors by Ruben Rude and IHOC, IHOC. And it is iconic. Blazed on it. First issue. It has the Turtles in Eric Larson style, kind of in front of a red gradient background with a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles masthead logo.
Yes. What do you think of this? What do you think of that masthead?
That masthead is hot.
I love it.
That
it's
masthead,
so simple.
But see, it's funny because from here on out, the Turtles masthead, in my opinion, they kind of formed the new Turtle. This is the new Turtles masthead. Like the old masthead was the Turtles written in a lot more angular way, like you see in Mirage #1. Like it was the Turtles, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja was like over the blade, very short. This logo is not as wide, but very tall.
Right.
It jumps off the page, in my opinion. It's a modern interpretation of the Turtles masthead, which I love, and of course, emblazoned with the huge Image eye, which is
Oh,
so
oh,
iconic to
oh,
anyone
so good.
that read comics in the 90s, anybody who kind of ran away from the big two with with Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee and all these guys that came and did this, Eric Larson, it's iconic. And I will say that Image, I mean, maintains its creator first,
Hmm.
creators rights based publishing to this day. And
Right.
Image Comics still makes some of the best thought provoking comics that are being made right now.
Yeah,
So
I,
this
I
legacy
agree.
goes back
It does.
to
And
these wild days where they were really, really setting themselves apart
yeah,
from the big two that they all decamped from.
right.
And
And there's something that's
it's awesome.
very I don't know if it's just speaks to me in this way that I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but I'm very much of like a like if you're telling me like oh, this band's really cool, I'm like, oh, what label are they on? Like I like to know like
Yes.
publishers and like
Oh,
who's
no.
putting stuff out because
Absolutely.
I'm just a fan of that stuff. And so
Yeah.
seeing that eye, like I didn't realize that, again, it's the whole thing when I'm here with Blood of My Blood, the Deep Diving
Oh,
Daddies,
no.
Turtle Soup, and our
The
the Deep
air tonight.
Diving Daddies in the chat. All of us
Mm.
combined, we formed the Voltron of joy that is Turtle fandom. Reading this stuff, like I'm getting like super hyped seeing the logo of one of my favorite comics publishers next to one
Yes.
of my favorite comic properties together. And
Yeah.
this has kind of got me giddy in like a very hopeful way. And I really love when things do that. And that's what this
Yeah.
issue does. The other thing that I love so much about this, there's two things. First is I always look at Raphael's sigh, like how he's holding both of them, and he's
Yeah.
got them like crossed over, like they're overlapping, but they look like
Yeah.
an infinite like crosshatch. And I keep thinking that
Uh-huh.
that's wrong. That's wrong. There's too many blades on there. But
No,
even if
no,
I
it's
counted
true.
it,
It's a bit of a
it's like an optical illusion a little bit. It's always tripped me up every time I've seen this cover.
Yeah, maybe if I cross my eyes, I'll see the sailboat.
Right, exactly. You
In
can see
those
the sailboat in there with the
exactly.
magic eye. But then
Yeah.
my other favorite thing, and the artist out there, let us know I want to know what this is, what the art, like the actual, if there's a technique or what this is called, but what Michelangelo is doing with his nunchucks, where you can see the nunchuck that it's like it's a still image of his nunchucks, but then there's the motion that's around them. And I
Yeah, it's like a
always
ring.
love when they do the motion ring thing like that, because Marvel Select made a Thor figure where he has the hammer, and it's it's an accessory where it's approximating that same effect, where it's just a bunch of hammers in a row, like looking like he's twirling it around.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like that was one of the first times I remember seeing it in actual 3D plastic toy form. They've done a few other companies have done it since, but every
Yeah.
time I'm a huge fan of that. And likewise, it goes to comics as well. And so yeah, this is a very bold comic cover, if I do say so. So
It is.
yeah.
It really is. I love the, kind of in the shadows, you have like kind of their veins,
Yeah.
picked out in this like kind of dull blue color, and
Mhm.
it just does a lot. The contrast is hot, and as you know, boys, like I always talk about, like the you know contrast on a cover and stuff really sells you the cover. And I whenever I look at these, because we're on this journey, I always think like, if this was on the newsstand, how would this pop off to me?
Oh
This
yeah.
issue jumps off the stand. It is
Absolutely.
like, obviously the cover was designed to grab your eye, right?
Yep.
And that it does. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So, whew. All right, here we go. So
Here we
before we
go.
get started, we have our credits.
Okay.
So on this comic, we have writer is Gary Carlson, penciler Frank Fosco, inker Eric Larson. So right there,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Your
Yep.
boy jumping in. Now it's his chance, guys. It's his chance. Ink assists by Chance Wolf, letters by Chris Eliopoulos,
Yep.
editor Eric Larson, assistant to the chief executive Garrett Chin, and sanitized for your protection, our boy, and yours and mine, Josh Eichorn. You know what I'm saying? He is what he's doing. So, Image begins thus. Donatello getting absolutely wrecked. That is how we start off the bat.
Yeah.
Frank Fosco, pencils. You know what I'm saying? Eric Larson inks. Guess what? And Chance Wolf on those ink assists. Can't forget. You can fall through on that ink assist. You know what I'm saying? This is the book, guys. It's black and white. It goes right back to black and white, and it opens with this, which is
Yeah.
like
This is
a wild
wild.
page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, in the future, we may not go as deep on the art. I know that we're in such a deep art style right now. We did tell ourselves we really wanted to dedicate this episode to just breaking down the new feel and the new look, and maybe
Right.
getting a little more into it. But right off the bat, you just notice a style, which is a typical inversion of what comic art usually is. So
Yes.
comic art is usually, we start dark because we want all this contrast,
Mm-hmm.
and then we move up to lights, and then our very, very highest highlights are paper white, right?
Right.
Or what they call like, the absence of, right? So if you
Yes.
were looking at the 11 by 17 original artists print with, or the work with pencils and inks, you would notice that there's just no ink on the page, right? That
Yeah.
that is true white in comics. Here, Fosco and Larson went for a reverse of that. So
Mm-hmm.
the default is white, unfettered paper, and then your coloring and shading, and whatever you get out of line work is in black. So it is kind of the opposite of the duo shade approach that Kevin and Peter took with a distinctive look we know
Right.
from Mirage Turtles. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so Donnie's getting absolutely blasted. Do you have anything you want to say about this piece really fast? I feel like I don't want to run over you if you had anything
Oh
you wanted to
no,
say.
no,
'Cause
no.
it's a pretty impressive first page.
It's a very impressive first page. Like that's like that's that first drop on the roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Oh
in for a
no,
ride from
yeah.
the cover, but then like that that first drop gets you, and you're like,
Well, this is like if you got the roller coaster though. They were like, okay, make sure you put your little bar down, and then the whole roller coaster, the whole car just dropped down through the floor.
right,
Like
exactly,
you're like, what?
yeah,
There wasn't even like tracks leading to this.
yeah,
Like
no,
there was
no,
nothing.
no,
Like the cover is, I got on this ride, and then
mm,
this is like, and now it just falls down straight from where you are.
right,
Which is wild. So
yes.
we move on,
Well,
and
hold on. So I was still talking.
sorry,
So
sorry. Yep.
you're good.
I was still talking. Got
No,
you. Good.
but like the Donatello is like, even if this isn't your favorite turtle, even if you don't even care about Donatello, what this tells us is that anything could happen. It's a very Game of Thrones kind of thing where, well, obviously this predated it, but it's it's the thing letting you know that anything can happen. Like any of
Yeah.
your boys, whoever your favorite is, they bad stuff's gonna happen. Like not just to them, but also to their bow staffs, to their weapons. And Splinter is gonna have to take another payment out, or like go like fishing in the sewer again
it's
to
bad.
get them weapons again.
We're having to dock. We're having to dock that chores pay. It's
Yeah.
really bad. Like
Yeah. And it's nuts. But yeah, I love that this is how they're like, hey, y'all, we built up a lot of hype in that ad telling you things are gonna be different.
yeah.
Here we go. Promise of the premise right off the bat. So yeah, like
And of course,
I love it.
if you haven't read it, but you've heard about Image, one big thing that you definitely hear is that it's a meat grinder for the Turtles. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Like just once again, this isn't Journey talk saying, you know what I'm saying? Like in the Journey, I don't know. In the Journey, I'm like, what's this? Oh my god, page 1.
Right.
But you hear this just leaking throughout, where you're kind of like, yeah, it's a meat grinder, and that page is definitely like a, like, yep, welcome to the meat grinder. Like it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we open up to our next stuff. We're not going page by page here, guys.
No.
It's not Mirage number 1. It's not Turtle Soup episode 1. Don't worry. But we get some very very, very good layouts. And funny, what's happening is you've got Splinter and the Turtles in the sewer, and you can tell based on, there's a little birthday party hat, like a little happy birthday hat on who I believe
Michelangelo, I believe.
Michelangelo, yeah.
Yeah.
So this all happened during like a birthday party, and they hear gunfire. So you have Splinter and the Turtles in the lair, and sure enough, we get a look at this cyborg dude. There's a couple cyborg guys that we can see in frame that have broken into the lair, and the Turtles basically, like Raph's like, oh, for Pete's sakes, who invited cyborgs?
Right.
There's nothing I hate more than stinking cyborgs. I wonder if that's not a reference to the robotic foot soldiers. Like, like
that's true. That it could be that. I didn't think about that, but that's very true. That could be. But I thought about Baxter, from when he was. Yeah. Because that was the first thing I thought of. But it could go either way. Like, I get it.
And
Also,
and we're
was
sorry.
Johnny Woo Woo? Was he considered? I don't think he was considered a cyborg, right? Johnny Two Guns, Johnny Two Glocks.
No. He was a human with augmetic hands. That's
Augmetic,
he's not really a
augmetic. I
cyborg.
keep
You know
forgetting
what I'm
augmetic.
saying? Like the
Yeah, yeah,
augmetic.
yeah.
I'm gonna get it tattooed on you. You know what I'm saying?
You are.
Um, so another side note is also that canonically, right? Because this is picking up Turtles canon.
Yeah.
Kevin and Peter approved this.
Yes.
Kevin and Peter are like, hey man, like Eric, go for it. And this is canon, not at the time. Now, like since then, things have been debatable about
Right.
canon, and we'll get into that probably when we end the series.
Yeah.
We'll have a bit of a image this many years later, whenever we
Right.
get there. How is it been seen as now? But since then, but now it is absolutely canon. This picks up after volume 2, number 13. So happy birthday. Uh, these guys come in, and Splinter asks Leo if he recognizes them at all, or if
Mm-hmm.
and he just doesn't, right? So effectively what happens is they're assaulted. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of talk about like the fact that it could be the scans we're working from.
Yeah.
But some of the art, given how we've chosen to kind of invert, right? Like the typical frame for like how we typically like ink, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've left so much empty white space that sometimes some of the action is a little bit hard to
Oh yeah.
interpret sometimes. You really got to kind of look and start tracing. Is a little bit like an auto stereogram sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, so you have to really look in and depict the action. Um, so I'm sure you're going to hear Eric and I while we're reviewing this comic basically say like, I don't even know what that is, and someone's going
Yeah.
to go,
Yeah.
bro, no,
Definitely.
it's his hand, and we're like,
Yeah.
whoa, like the other one
Whoa.
gets like blown out, right? Like, so I'm glad I'm on this journey with my with my partner here.
You know it.
So uh yeah, so they come in, Cyborg's happy birthday freaks, it's gonna be your last one. Um and they've got Mikey, like they got a gun to his head. Like it is like brutal. Like I mean, like it is like a whole takeover. And the turtles are scrambling. Now on the next page, this is when we kind of realize that like while the turtles are fighting these guys, Donnie
Mm-hmm.
was absolutely shot.
Oh
Like
yeah.
this isn't like Donnie got hit by the boomstick and the thing is, but also he's fine because he rolled over and said cowabunga. Like
Right.
he is shot and bleeding. Like that
Yeah.
was a projectile weapon that
Down
shot
and out.
Donnie in his actual abdomen, and
Yep.
he is down. Okay. Um and this is where we start to see the tone of the comic. Like, I think in canon we're used to seeing like, okay, cool. So if something serious is happening, then
Mm-hmm.
the comic turns serious, right? If
Right.
it's funny, then all the funny stuff's happening. Here, you get your first like weird taste of contrast. So you've got Donnie shot, and the idea is the other turtles are going to kind of avenge him a little bit and try to like take these guys down.
Right. Right.
You have uh, Michelangelo saying, "You dirty rat, you shot my brother."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now for my next impression, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And he's just like going at it, and you're
Yeah.
like, Donnie's down, but we're joking.
He's
That's a
still
weird
joking.
tone.
It
He's
is,
still
but
joking.
that's still my. I still run that. Like that's my like. Oh, I'm nervous and
No,
things are really
you
shitty.
are no,
I'm gonna run
you are the
the jokes.
you are
Um.
you are the proprietor of Easy's Too Soon Theater. You know what
Oh.
I'm saying? Like come on in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like come on in.
Yep.
Like sit down. We'll move the velvet rope for you. And it's a joke about your actual family member who died yesterday. And you're
Right.
like,
That
oh,
that
Eric, wow,
you still have the
ooh,
urn right
that's
there. Like yeah.
but I'm laughing.
Yep.
You got me laughing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Hey,
saying? I can't ever be mad at you. You know what I'm
it,
saying? I can't be
it's the
mad at
best
you.
medicine. You know what I'm saying?
It's the best medicine. So yeah, so you get this kind of contrast of like serious and then this humor.
Mm.
So Leo inquiring about Donnie, we learn that Donnie appears to be in shock. His pulse is strong, and perhaps he didn't, the bullet didn't hit any major organs. And Splinter basically sets to, try to stabilize him, while the turtles take care of our two cyborg friends.
Mm.
So that's right what we get to. Um, with Leo cutting the hand off of one of our assassins, and Eric was so kind to go back and like write notes where I know the names of these people,
Oh
but
yeah.
I still can't tell them apart yet. I believe, yeah. So this guy is named Wilson,
Yes.
because Leo comes in and cuts Wilson's gun hand off.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wilson goes on a long rant about, you think I'm defeated, fool?
Mm-hmm.
Already my cybernetic arm has cauterized the wound and injected painkillers and adrenaline into my bloodstream. And I'm like, are you a space marine? Because that's what
Yeah.
happens when space marines get hurt. And then he's like, then the organic metal cells replicate to replace the lost mass. I'm like, I appreciate that. That's actually kind of cool. Because a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
when people regrow things, they just go like, yeah, that comes out of nowhere. He's like,
Oh
no, I'll
yeah.
tell you where the mass comes from, which I appreciate because you lost a hand. And that's
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah.
And finally, the symbiotic organism grows me a prosthetic hand based on my own DNA,
Mm.
complete with a new plasma blaster. Now let's see how tough you are, Turtle Boy. You know what I'm saying? He put a little edge on it. He goes, boy.
He did. He
And that
did.
does kind of freak out. That kind of freaks Leo out. He goes, oh, because he's like, the way
Oh yeah.
you
Oh
put that
oh.
boy at
That's
the
one
end
of
of
my
that, it kind of
favorite.
freaked me out a little bit.
That's one of my favorite images of this right here.
Yeah,
Let me get to it.
Yeah, get down to it.
Which is
Oh, I love that.
which is Leo in the crosshair. I don't know if I can get in close enough to
Yes.
see it, but yeah,
Love it.
like
Love
that's
it.
so cool. I
Really cool
love,
detail.
love when comics do things like that, where it's like that
Yes.
perspective change, and it's like, oh, that's so subtle and so minute.
It's really
and
good.
something you'd overlook, but yeah, it just really like it's evocative of like the dread that the turtles are simultaneously feeling while they're trying to still be themselves, but like these invaders have come into their home on their birthday party. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, nobody
yeah.
wants. Go up to the upper left of that page.
Let's see,
They do a
left.
similar thing with the guy. He's targeting.
Oh,
See his heads in that one too.
I totally
It's like a
missed
lens.
this.
He's like targeting. Yeah,
because
and
again,
that's the arm.
Yeah, the art,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that's the arm on Wilson that he cuts off. Is he's targeted like through that thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, so they do a lot of great stuff in the bottom of this page too. Great, once again, great panel layouts.
Yeah.
The progression of Wilson like regrowing his limb is really like really well like done with a lot of forward motion. If you zoom out and go on the bottom, we've got these diagonal panels
Yeah.
that are moving the action literally based on their shape. They're tilted a little diagonally, and they're shoving your eye toward the shot where he's got the regrown gun.
Right.
And it's right on Leo's face. It's very, the action moves really well, and
It
of course, a crap ton of detail in the art and a crap ton of thought about layouts here. So
Absolutely.
we're keeping straight in Mirage's fine tradition of layouts are king. Great panel. Makes me really wish on the next page. Makes me really wish that I had seen Raph fight a Sentinel in the X-Men universe.
Ooh, yeah.
Because look at the face on that guy. It's kind of like a Sentinel head. And then Raph coming down and basically cutting his head off there makes me wish I could see Raph on top of a Sentinel. And like Wolverine on one ripping it apart, and Raph like on the top of the next one, like put his like side down into the neck, like be like super badass.
Oh, and that's interesting because the Sentinels would be after the Turtles because they are mutants. So yeah, that's true.
See,
yeah,
you see,
there you go.
You know
it all comes together.
Mutant Registration Act, NASA, not for it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that is an act. Unlike the pizza calzone's just a new better pizza act.
Right.
I would vote no.
Yeah,
on the Registration Act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm there.
Yep.
You know, I'm not Team Scott when it comes to that chapter of the X-Men story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I am Team whoever doesn't want that legislation, mainly Magneto. But we're all Team Magneto a little bit. That's what makes Magneto such a great villain.
Yes.
Sometimes you wake up and you're like, I'm Team Magneto today.
Yep.
So Raph, says, let's see your fancy armor grow you a new head, Big Mouth. Slices his head clean off, and that's not your dad's turtles. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's not your cowabunga dudes. So everyone's like, bro, that's crazy, but I love it because you've got kind of Raph that's just done this, hits the ground, and he can actually see the fact that like Wilson's body is trying to close the wound around his neck. Like is trying to seal that and actually grow him a new head.
Right.
And
Which is
that's
wild.
where we get into the idea, and we discovered this in Mirage Volume 2 when we dealt with Baxter Stockman's android body. That, guys, when you're an android cyborg, the brain doesn't have to be in the skull, guys. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
The brain
amazing.
can be in the abdomen where it's armored and
Hmm.
shielded, and
Right.
your head is just a bunch of sensors.
Yeah.
And when you realize that, you're like, holy crap, like
Hmm.
that's actually super awesome. And so Wilson's head probably isn't necessarily, like, his brain probably isn't necessarily in the head right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So, but something is there because Mikey, replete in his happy birthday hat,
Yeah.
uh,
Still.
effectively bashes Wilson's like brain in. Like
Yeah.
the neck and everything around it that's trying to seal.
Right.
He's just like literally says, "You know what they say, it won't heal if you pick it." Which is just like brutal.
Yeah.
And he does. He effectively gives Wilson the real death. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and
Uh
didn't we read something or somebody let us know about nunchucks and how like there's like so much pounds of pressure like when you like
yeah.
get struck with them?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
imagine if you had like a scab like where like oh I got really cut real bad or you got a paper cut or something and then someone comes with a nunchuck and
Yeah.
just hits you in your paper cut like that's got to be like the worst feeling ever like you like the rest of
Absolutely.
your body just has to die at that point I feel like.
No wonder Mikey lost the use of his nunchucks in England. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, think about
Yeah.
that.
Makes total
Um,
sense at this point.
yeah. So he does. He bashes it in, and then the Turtles are real jokey about it. Go 1, 2, 3, and the pinhead is down for the count. Nice work, Mikey. You beat his brains in.
Yep.
And now they're ready to go after our other friend, who we found out later is called Jackson. We're ready to
Yeah.
like they're like, okay, we'll kill that guy, Jackson.
Yep.
And then we get stopped by basically the leg lamp from Christmas Story,
Christmas
just two
story.
of them.
Yeah.
And Fragile must be Italian. You know what I'm saying? And um, the Turtles say, "Whoa, I get first dibs on that tush."
I want to say, I just want to make it clear that if you follow where the line of the dialogue bubble, that's going to Michelangelo. Michelangelo is the hornball
Uh,
of
you know,
all turtles. Just gonna say.
agreed to be the creepiest turtle. Hate to
Yes.
say it. Like, if there's one that's gonna be a little
A little too
like,
much.
I'm your friend, but maybe more. It's Mikey, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Talk about, I'm your friend, but if you ever broke up with that guy, you're like,
Right.
well, does that make
Yeah.
you my friend?
Right.
Are you my friend, or are you waiting in line? Like,
Well, the one thing I
that's
got to
not a
give
friend.
Michelangelo is that he is
Yeah.
not like biased by any means. Like he is like equal opportunity when it comes to his love.
Oh, you know,
Like
that's something you can say about it.
yeah, because like
Yeah.
he's willing to look past everything. Just there you go.
Oh,
Like
well, the dialogue they get into later is I do kind of find a little funny. It's a bit
yeah.
objectionable, like, as far as, like,
Totally.
but
Yes.
there's some
Yes.
stuff they say later that I'm kind of like, well, this is what, like, kids do talk about. So we get a one-page splash. There's a lot happening.
There is. Yeah.
We see a character we will come to know as Pamiko.
Mm.
Uh, full on. And this is super image, X cups galore.
Yep.
She's she the appear. So what I like about her is the top knot.
The top knot. Yeah. That
Top
braid
knot
that
is
I'm trying to think. There's a Starjammer that has this hair. Oh, I forget what his name is. Razar or something. Oh, I can't think of it. But there's a Starjammer that has this
yeah.
hair. And there's a
Didn't
couple
Omega
of
Red
other,
have similar hair for a while? I thought Omega Red had a top knot variant.
might-
That he had a top knot for a long time.
Omega Red has the hair where there's so much hair that he's got 5 different hairstyles within the his
Absolutely.
head. So yeah.
Yes.
But so you might be right, but I know I feel like there are other image characters that have this same knot, and yeah, it's interesting. I do like it because it's off-putting.
Top knots are pretty great. Top knots mean that I literally kill people for a living. Is what a top knot means. Like, if you have a top knot, it's like the warrior's haircut. You're like, I'm
Yes.
I'm declaring it right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet. So she's hanging out. She's got Splinter, captive with a Ninjato against his neck. Some kind of like what looks like a needle injector in her right hand that's
Yes.
down. We see a little bowl of little turtles. I don't know why there's a bunch of like if they have pet turtles or they
Th-
celebrate the
I,
birthday by
I
buying another set of 4 little baby turtles every
that
time. I don't know
that is
like
a
what
thing
that
that
is.
they talk about it later in the issue. We don't know
Oh, yeah,
why.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay.
And understandably so. They don't. You don't know at this point what that is. Like, so
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah,
why
yeah.
that's there. So yeah, but
So we've got and you see Donnie who's like really bloody
he's
laying
burned up
there,
like a dang old
and
piece of toast.
he
He
Lisa
is.
Barangi, he is
Yeah.
Lisa Barangi, burned up like a dang old piece of toast, laying there. You know what I'm saying? That's a tornado. I
That
mean,
is.
like she's just laying like it's really
That's Steve Burrell.
damn Steve
Oh,
Brule. That Steve Brule's too good. So she says, make one move and your sensei dies.
and
I too am ninja. And while yep.
I was gonna say, I didn't think about it until you said what you just said, because I was like, Splinter looks really weird. Splinter looks like kind of just like like a lazy Splinter a little bit in the face, but I think it's that drug thing that in her hand that she's drugged him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah, the
he looks.
injector, yeah.
Yeah, that's what was crossing me up. I'm like, why does he look like so much detail and everything? And then Splinter, rat with the rat face dude guy. Yeah, let me just. Okay, cool.
His eyes are rolled up in his head, and it feels like
And he's
that's
drooling.
definitely a thing.
So yeah, that's definitely what it
Yes.
was. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense.
She says, I too am ninja, and while there is no honor in killing a drugged opponent, I will not hesitate to cut your mangy throat to cut his mangy throat if you interfere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the word of the day is interfere. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna use it a lot. It's interfere.
Right.
So yeah, so obviously the turtles are gonna rush in and they're going to whip her ass because we need to free the sensei. And she's kind of like, yeah, don't though, because I will actually kill him.
Yeah.
She no, we've got our boy Jackson now sitting next to her. She says, we've came for one rat and one turtle. You cyborgs take the prisoners out the way we came, and I'll guard your backs. And of course, Jackson's not happy with that because he wants to kill them for what he did to his boy Wilson.
Right.
He says, I'm in charge here. This is to Pamiko. Don't interfere. Well, she says, you'd be as dead as Wilson if I hadn't interfered.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't even have gotten past their traps and alarms in the sewers without my interference. Still, you are welcome to stay behind. I will explain your death to the Dragon Lord.
The Dragon Lord
is in all bold, boys. It's Dragon Lord. That's obviously our new chief villain.
He's replacing Hong Kong Lord Dong from Hong Kong.
Lord Dong from Hong Kong way.
From Body Count. So yeah, this might be the new Lord Dong. So yeah.
I mean, if as long as I don't know, as long as he's switched it up and he's not just a man diaper wearing a big budget or low budget kingpin, I'm good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So of course to this kind of challenge, you can stay here and die. Your boy Jackson's like, yeah, no, dog, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Sorry for saying interfere too much. She's like, no, I said it too. Don't worry. The turtles have to hold back Raph, who is basically like, the minute you turn, I will carve my name in your bare butt.
Yes. There you go.
To which Pamiko says, we will cross blades when we meet again, Ninja Turtle. You have my word. Save your macho posturing till then. But now we must depart. Any attempt to follow will result in the death of your friends. And the turtles are running more threats. And she throws Flash Ninja Vanish.
Ninja Vanish all day.
Yep. That's the tactic. And the turtles have to run to try to catch them.
Yeah.
During which we get the debate. Where you've got Mikey saying, "Whoa, what a babe! Did you see those legs?" To which Raph responds, "What? She's a dog. Woof woof." Mikey's like, "A dog? Are you crazy, Raph?" And Raph says, "Why else would she wear a bag over her head?"
Oh dang! Because we didn't mention that. Yeah, she's got like a
She got a mask.
A mask, but it kind of reminded me of like the wrestler Kane a little bit. There's like something like almost more like a luchador, but like if there was a Kang luchador, like with the spikes and stuff,
it has spikes. It's got like fixtures on it. It's not just like a Deadpool, like just a full wrap head thing. It's got more to it than that.
But I didn't connect all of that. The bag over her head. I thought that he was saying, like, speaking more like hyperbolic, I guess. But no, I didn't get it until you just mentioned that. No, that's literally. Oh my goodness! Yes. Okay.
So that's what I mentioned. That's what I mentioned earlier when they get into this like debate now. Because like you got Mikey who's like, bro, like I don't know, she just took drugged our master and took him and took dying Donnie, but like I don't know, but how about she hot though? And then Raph's like, yeah, not about it, man.
But
like Raph's a face guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs to. Once again, whatever. It's the '90s, and we're objectifying women in the X Cup book. But I mean, I did like at least that it wasn't like So let me explain. So I like the fact that the objectification and them like talking about her. It didn't at least it wasn't just a like flat like whoa look at those X Cups right and then move on.
Yeah,
there's a debate happening, which I think is at least interesting.
Yeah.
There's a dissenting opinion, right, about what's going on.
Right. I think that, see, it's interesting because like if this was if this was a male and they were commenting on this male in a sense that like they were for lack of a better term sexually interested in this male, would that have still been objectifying? I mean, yes, when you say it out loud and you're asking to quantify it, yes, but would you have perceived it as such? It's hard to say because you and I are both male and we identify as that, and at least last time I checked. And I
don't know what point you're trying to make, but yeah,
I'm trying to say that.
So, the definition of objectification, right? I mean, it goes for any gender. It doesn't, just judging someone based off of their looks. Mm-hmm. And then commenting on their looks, in a way that objectifies them. It makes them literally into an object. Objectifying is speaking about someone as if they're a thing, not a person. So you might go to a car and look at a car and go like, oh man, look at the rear end on that car, bro. Like, oh my God, those big tires. I love that lift kit. And you might go, oh nah, man, it's ugly fuck. And we're talking back and forth, but we're talking about an object, right? The idea with objectification though is when you take a human and you begin to talk about this person like they're not a person. And that works for me for any gender. It doesn't matter what gender it is. If you're looking at a person solely like an object and talking about their physical features only, and kind of like, and the key to objectification is you reduce by talking about someone solely like that, you reduce them to an object in your mind. So objectification is also a problem because it starts to spread.
Right.
So a person becomes an object as a commodity, not a person. So like, yes, if it was, if they said, whoa, dude, Omega Red, look at his ass, it would literally be objectification the same way.
Right. But I guess what I was trying to get at is that like, so I mean, I know what you're saying, and I appreciate because some people might not actually know what that is. So I don't mean to be dismissive of what you just said by any means. But
well, you asked the question.
I did, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that to that point, if you see something and you're interested in it and you're with your friends or your brothers or whatever, you might, and forgive me, I'm saying a person, let's say a person, which is what is happening here. And you don't know anything else about them. You just know that you are physically attracted to them, which is generally the first, and I could be mistaken, but is the first impression that most people get from people when they see them. Now, everyone has different tastes, obviously represented here.
Sure.
Now, are they wrong for commenting on the person's physical features that they are that they first witnessed and that they like and that they're interested in? Are they wrong for that? If the conversation ends here, that yes, look at those legs and look at this and all this, like, yeah, if that ends there, then yes, absolutely. But like, if we get into later issues where they're like actually talking about how, wow, like her personality is horrible, then it's like at that point that kind of changes. And so then I wonder, just like it is with anybody, like if I meet somebody, I'm like, they look really cool, or they're wearing a band shirt, or they look like this, I want to go talk to them. And you're like, oh no, I hate that band, or that band said something really horrible about something else like socially, and so that must mean they identify with that. So I think they're probably a jerk. But yet, if we end there, then yeah, that's kind of sort of objective. I'm speaking very loosely here, but
Sure.
you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't know. I always like curious about that. That it's like I definitely see your point, and that is
No,
and this
I
is
think
the
I think
'90s, which is rife with this stuff. So
absolutely.
that flag getting thrown for that is well deserved by all means. But
Objectification, the way the way I've always seen it, if
mhm,
you're asking a question about like, like okay, like what, yeah, the natural question of like, okay, so what's the difference between objectifying someone
mhm,
and just noticing something about them that's attractive when you first see them? No one can be blamed for like when they first encounter a person and they set their eyes on them,
right,
thinking like, oh, they're very attractive for this reason to
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Okay, like that's not a crime, and to think that's not a crime,
right,
obviously. And that's how we wind up finding people attractive. Is it starts with physical things, because typically, like if we can see them, then we see those things, and then it goes into other stuff. I think the thing about objectification that defines it or separates it from just admiring someone
mhm,
is, number one, the communicating it to others, sharing the
mhm,
thought with others is a big thing, because you objectification is kind of like a it's dangerous as an action that becomes normalized. So, for example,
oh
if
okay, yeah,
I
yeah,
see a girl
yeah,
and
mhm,
I think in my own head, man, like I really love her stomach. I don't know, like her hips look really good. And
mhm,
I say that in my head, and I go, okay, and then I move on. I, it's not spreading the idea of objectifying. Now, if I turn
right,
to you, my male counterpart, and I say, hey, bud,
mhm,
like not counterpart, right? Because no, but like my male partner,
yes,
I say, dude, don't you love her hips? And I invite you to go, oh yeah, dude, oh my god, actually I like her
right,
ass better, right? That's when we start the objectification mill, because now
right,
you and I are having a conversation that's bringing us together
mhm,
about objectifying someone else, and then what that does is spread, right? So
right,
so to me that is the difference. Now if something starts out with, wow, she's so hot, and then we go further into like, the personality of this person, like of course that's not necessarily objectifying, but the idea is that we're spreading the um poison of objectification. We're normalizing it when we
mhm,
communicate it. To me, at least, and once again,
right,
I didn't write the book on this. I'm obviously not a woman that gets objectified, so like, I'm
right,
speaking from my own evolved Ryan view of the way that I understand this to be. So that's just the
yeah,
caveat here. But as a man myself, I think like, how do I not objectify, right? Like, how do I not be part of the problem? And my one of the things I've learned and observed is objectification starts at the conversation and the spreading. It
yeah,
starts in
yeah,
the, now you and I have a thing now. Whenever we see someone, we say, the first thing you say about a woman that walks in the bar is like, check out the ass right there,
right,
just off
right,
the bat, right? That's our parlance now. Is now we
yeah.
objectify women
See
together. That's the thing
that
that we do.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And it's kind of
It's
like
different.
it's kind of like I could be wrong and forgive me, and we don't have to stay on this too much longer,
No, we
but
really probably shouldn't.
it's the idea that like when people talk about I don't know. I found something you said. I can't remember exactly, but it resonated with me in the sense where I'm like, if somebody was like, "Hey, check this girl out" or "check this guy out," I'd be like, "There's that part where you're like, oh, let me look and see what they're like. Is there something like, or is she? There's a level, and it's like where you're like, oh,
Yeah.
but let's, and that's that thing. However, with it's interesting because what we're dealing with too is a comic that was in 1996. Now, I'm not justifying it, but there is a reason
No.
probably why this was here, because we're reading a comic that's meant for like, well, obviously by the ads and everything, for older or more mature younger people, written by people that are slightly older than that intended audience, and you're dealing with the crossing of different what's the word, generations that had different opinions about what was considered kosher or good or
Sure.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now we very much would totally see this, and this would be totally different. But moving on, I want to ask one
Yeah.
more question about this. Have you ever, because we've seen this a
I
few
want.
times
I
in
want. I. Go ahead. Sorry. I just
Okay.
have one more thing to say on that topic to round up my thought on it. Just the idea of like tagging on what you said really fast before we move on to another thing
Okay.
is that I think that we talked last episode when we wrapped up body count this concept of like what is mature, what is mature
Mm-hmm.
audiences, what is, and
Yeah.
the question of like just the use of that word mature, right? The idea
Mm-hmm.
of like one end you could be like, well, that's patronizing. So what? So
Yeah.
I have to like X cup women, and I have to like blood and gore and people being turned inside out by bullets to be mature.
Right.
Like you're saying a lot when you say that, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
the other side saying, well, no, you need to be mature to understand its context, actually.
Right. Right.
So, whatever that argument, which has two very valid sides to it. I feel like here the dialogue with, in just my interpretation of some of the objectification we're seeing, literally is just a signal that this is not your dad's turtles for whatever
Ye-
reason. Like it's a little bit of like the turtles would never say that. Like Mikey in the cartoon or whatever would not say, "I call first dibs on that tush."
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I think
That's.
that was the heady, wild times we were in the time
Mm-hmm.
where this is meant to signal, whoa, dude, these turtles are talking about this girl, like how she
Yeah.
looks, like, and
Yeah.
like they're having a debate, which I do like to at least see a debate. Like I guess I'd rather see that more than yeah. Let me find the next way to describe it. Let me
Right.
find the next really
Yeah.
wild
Yeah.
thing about this person. I'm going to say I do like that. Like Rav has a dissenting opinion, so it becomes more of a conversation maybe. But at the same time, I think it's just there to signal that at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. And
However you
I.
choose to interpret that, or if you're cool or not cool with that, is up to you, right? But like, I think this is here as a signal. The same way
Right.
that the first page has Donnie being blasted, it's like, oh my god, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
that you're seeing that here for the same reason.
Yeah, and I think the normalizing of it is what's the problem. But I think what they were trying to do probably, on top of what you just said with like showing you this is another way of that this is a more
Yeah,
mature turtles, to that mature thing that you said where you got to understand what this is. These are brothers, teenage brothers talking. Chances are this is probably how teenage brothers have talked or would talk or will before they might realize where they grow up a little bit and know
yeah,
what objectifying
yeah,
is. And so I can see that,
absolutely,
but at the same
yeah.
time, do you illustrate that? Like where's the line? So it's very difficult. But moving on, the
Oh yeah,
last
and I don't want this to come off as like this big like PC topic. Obviously, what happens on this show is Eric and I, this is what we'd be doing if we were just reading this comic. Like if we just went on the journey ourselves, and every Friday night we just sat down and read comics together, and that was all we
yeah.
did. And we talked about them afterwards, right? We didn't
Yeah,
record
yeah,
it and
yeah.
share it with people. We would probably get into a conversation about this, and this is how like Eric and I and a lot of people like when you talk with a friend that's intellectual, like and you guys are matched up, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. Right,
You
right.
have these debate topics to like you're not debate really here, but just exploration of a concept to try to wrap your head around it and understand it, not only for the context in the art or in the book, right? But also in real life and stuff like that. So but before I say all that, like obviously I do understand that like there's art context to everything, obviously, and
Yeah,
like
yeah. So
whatever.
but and we'll move on after this. I don't think I've ever. Now, granted, I don't think I'd ever call anyone a dog. But even if I did,
Probably not.
would you
Yeah,
go woof woof after you said that? Like, have
that's
you done
no.
that?
I
Has
mean,
anyone
like
ever done
no,
that?
Jesus, no,
Like,
no. I
I
mean,
can't
like
think of
the
anything.
bad like the dude who's about to get his ass whipped later in a movie says that, right? I mean, like,
I guess, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean?
But
Like,
like that just always struck me as weird because we've seen that before in Turtles comics, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken, where they've called someone a dog and they go woof woof afterwards, and that's
Hey,
just
look,
weird to
like
me.
there's we'll close on the topic on this. I mean, there's works of fiction obviously that I love that are problematic in different ways or do
Yeah,
different things, and it's nice we weren't as evolved back then. I think that any conversation about that just kind of requires a little bit of a context thing. I think that you
yeah,
can still enjoy these things. There's no need to cancel this issue because somebody's they objectify a woman for a second. But I mean, having the conversation and kind of knowing like, wow, that's kind of some 90s shit. So like, that's worth having the conversation, right?
right, right.
But yeah, I feel like each one of us keeps going to say our last thing about this topic because I think that like if it was just me and you, we'd probably talk about this for another like 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
but that is the conversation that happens. It's a bit of the payoff on the objectification point earlier and stuff. So I feel like it's worth a little bit of time, especially if we see this a lot more in the series than we kind of have had this kind of discussion now, right? That's the way I kind of see it. We kind of
hmm, Yeah.
put a down payment into the analysis of like the 90s and kind of like what was acceptable and what wasn't.
Yeah.
But the turtles do hit topside. They hear the sound of some kind of motor.
Yep.
And this is where Eric takes over the book right here.
Yeah.
And
So this is nuts. And as evident by Michelangelo's comment, "Aw, nuts, a helicopter." So yeah, I was not expecting a helicopter. Like,
yeah,
I don't equate sewer what did you say, interference? I don't sewer interference with immediately followed by helicopter chase. That is not, those are two things that do not equate, because there should be a building right next to that, or somewhere in there, or like an obnoxiously long ladder scene like Metal Gear, one of the Metal Gear Solids had.
Yes,
where it's just it was probably Snake Eater. It was just gorgeous, and you're just climbing a ladder, and there's all this amazing music, and so gorgeous.
Absolutely.
And wonderful. However, here it's just helicopter. It's like objectification of a woman, woof woof, and then helicopter. There you go. So, just in the like just barely missing it. The turtles get to the wherever this is. I'm assuming it's a rooftop, unless it's like, it's right from ground to the sky. But the turtles are pissed. The Pimiko says adios fricos, and yeah, they are just kind of left, with their shells in hand. What are they going to do? And but there's a lot of like trying to figure out what to do. What to do. Yeah. Like, the turtles don't know. They're blown out. Their leader is gone. Their brother is gone.
Yes. I don't think they account. I love how in the comic it does a really good job. Like, they did not account for the helicopter.
No, absolutely not.
Like they thought, like, okay, they're gonna go topside, like Ninja Vanish, and then like, okay, so like maybe like they run down an alley and we chase them, or maybe they get on a motorcycle and we steal a motorcycle. They don't think they accounted for, like, oh, these guys can fly.
Yeah.
Oh no. Like, oh shit, that's rough. I'm blown out. Like, and eventually they start pointing fingers at each other. That's how blown out they are. You someone is blown out when they look at someone and go, "This is your fault."
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? No, it's a full blowout at that point. Yeah, they're not ready. They're not ready for the helicopter, the air game. They're like, look, we ain't got the turtle blimp, guys. Like, this isn't the animated series turtles. We don't got the turtle blimp. We're just gonna stand here and I'm gonna blame Leo for it. Effectively, it's Leo's fault. Leo did it.
He's the helicopter, the fearless leader. Yeah. So inside the helicopter, there's a lot of back and forth. Now, I think there's one of these androids that I don't, or cyborgs that I don't remember. I can't think of their name. I don't know that they.
I think he was aboard the helicopter. I'm pretty sure. It was just Jackson and Wilson in the sewer. Although she does earlier say, "You cyborgs take them out the way we came." Yeah. So maybe there was a third cyborg we didn't track. It's a little hard. It's a little hard to tell track who's what down there.
So well, anyway, Pimiko tells I believe she tells Jackson, is that right?
Jackson.
To secure the captors, like Splinter and Donatello. And so he goes back there and is like giving them the update that this they're in bad shape. Splinter's knocked out. Donatello is still like out. Like, he's barely breathing. He's maybe not even alive. It's hard to tell. And Pimiko says, dead or alive or dead, no matter, an autopsy will serve the Dragon Lord's purpose. So There you go. There's that. And you get this scene, Ryan, like right here, which is like Donatello feverishly kind of like,
love this,
like kind of waking up or trying to like get out of his coma, I guess you could call it. And he sees just a bunch of splinters, like almost as if like the stars that are going around your head, but in a less comic-y way, more like or comedic way, more of like you're just seeing Splinter keep saying happy birthday. And that's also triggered by the cyborg sarcastically saying nice birthday, freak. And here is where we get some explanation as to what was happening. So on this page is beautiful, and it's much to the point you were making about the absence of any ink, just like pure comic page, just the white.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just negative space here. And what we have
Yeah.
is Splinter saying, "Happy birthday, my sons. 18 years ago today, a canister of radioactive waste changed all of our lives." And he continues, he says, "As you know, I've lived a long life as a normal rat before the mutagen transformed me. Even now, my human lifespan years, it yearns on, what's the word? Nears an end.
Nears.
Sorry, it's kind of like our scan's a little weird.
It's weird.
So he says, I am very old and very weary. Soon I shall be gone. And you've all been so then, the turtles are like, okay, whatever. Like, you've been talking about croaking for like years. Like, what is this? This is nothing new. And he continues to go, like, or they say, you'll outlive us, Splinter. Like, you'll outlive us all. And he goes, no parent wishes to outlive their children. I will go happily when my time expires, but I worry. I know you often feel alienated, that you fear there is no place for you in this world. Of all my accomplishments, I take the most pride in you four, both as sensei and father. Your lives will be what you make of it, what you make of them. My gift to you today is a view of what a life could have been. Behold, your lives untouched by mutagen." And he does this thing. Here, let me scroll down there real quick so you can see. He lifts this box and he goes, "Behold, your lives untouched by mutagen." And what it is that as soon as he does that, then you see blam, 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 like all the gunshots. And that's and the image that we're seeing is a happy birthday hat being like blown up. They're just like all like torn up by the bullets.
That hat, I'm sorry, is so Image Comics.
Absolutely.
If you had like put this in the the archive for what is Image Comics? It is a happy birthday hat being exploded by a bullet.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
It is amazing. Now, back to what you were asking earlier about what was the turtle bowl doing there with the other turtles?
Yeah,
that was the gift.
I forgot that part.
Yeah, that was the gift that Splinter was showing them, which is kind of neat and a little weird. Like,
it's a little twisted. It's like a little like Ghost of Christmas Past, but now you get to keep it.
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
now it's responsibility.
Which is actually way crueler than Jacob Marley ever was to Ebenezer Scrooge. Really, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause he kind of showed him. He showed him like the Christmas Past a little bit, and then he's like, "Well, come on back." Like,
right, come on back.
But Splinter's like, "How about the past forever?"
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So. Yeah, they
wait, so chat is saying that we skipped a page?
They are. And so
that's unfortunate because our scan
just
does not have a page apparently.
Our cool uncle does not have that page, so that's unfortunate. And that could explain a lot of stuff.
That's gonna
so
that feeling when your life has changed forever?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, we gotta go find that page or we're incomplete.
We're gonna have to find that page. But that's what happens when you rely on the internet for things. But you know what? It's also kind of neat because the whole thing that we've been talking about is how hard it is to read this with the art and how there's things that's like kind of murky and like it's a lot. It's very evocative of what they're trying to do, which is like make you feel like an urgency and an uncertainty and all of this. And this is represented well within the art and its intended purpose, but also with this, which I felt like there was something missing, but I thought it was by design. So we're gonna have to find that extra page to it. But nevertheless, I do like the idea of surprise. Here's this, but then all of a sudden, like, oh, you don't even get to see it because the thing happened. But we'll get back to that because nevertheless, Donatello all of a sudden wakes up and is like,
so I did find a review. I can't get the page, but just from TMNT Entity, it appears that it says Don recalls his birthday party as a gift. Splinter gave him and his brothers a bowl with 4 baby turtles inside to remind them of the life they could have had had they not come in contact with the ooze. Don then went to the kitchen to retrieve his birthday cake, only to be met by the cyborgs and their guns. So I guess that panel is pretty awesome.
Okay, there you go. Well,
that page.
Yeah. Well, thank you, TMNT Entity, for that. So, but still, I love the I still love the idea that even though the page is missing from our cool uncle scan, the idea of like surprise, and then all of a sudden, boom, like there you go. We still get Donnie burn up like a dango piece of toast. So he's he's woken up, and this art looks fantastic. Like this just looks really great,
good.
And,
really good. Yeah.
And you can now in body count they did a lot of teeth work. You saw a lot of Raphael's teeth. They do a lot of teeth work here, and it's not to the extreme. But what's done is nuts. Like just seeing, I don't know, something about it's just very grotesque in a good way. He's like Donatello's wide awake now and yelling at these cyborgs. And just nuts. And he starts going nuts. And he starts attacking these cyborgs and calling them bozos and stuff. And
I love that bozo run, bro. This is the best.
Oh yeah, I love anytime someone calls someone a bozo. But he's kind of like thinking to himself, he's like, I'm so disoriented. Splinter, is he dead? We gotta escape. I don't know what's going on. Whatever. But yeah, so much craziness is going on, and they're in the helicopter, mind you. So like, you know, that's one place you really want to get into like fisticuffs. So
absolutely not.
Yeah. So Pamiko says that she's thinking to herself that the rat must not be allowed to escape. Luckily, there are 3 other turtles, which is an interesting kind of like assets or resource management kind of like thought process. Yeah. So then we get this splash page of your boy Donatello. Let's see here. Let me see if I can zoom out. And yeah, that is a cityscape, and Donatello realizing that they're in a helicopter, and yeah, he's trying to escape out of this thing that he just woke up in, to realize that he's like way up in the sky, and there's no turning back. Can't change your mind. And so he is falling out of the sky with with one of the cyborgs, and yeah, they're kind of talking back and forth as they're free falling, and it's kind of interesting because they're talking about like, you know, do you have a parachute or wings or anything that cyborg body can help us with? And you know, there's nothing. And even if it does have an airbag, but they don't know how to work it or whatever. And so Donnie's like, oh crap, this is definitely gonna hurt. And so we cut back to the lair where the rest of the turtles, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Leonardo, are, you know, kind of reassessing the situation, and they're trying to figure out like what to do with this other body that was Jackson? Is that who this body was?
No. Oh wait,
Wilson.
Let me look at him.
Wilson. I think this is Wilson.
Yeah. Wilson's one that they killed earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. So they still got the body of Wilson here. And Raphael's like super into it, just like investigating, like trying to figure this out. He says this guy isn't dead. The armor is keeping him alive for some reason. He's on life support. Looks like Michelangelo's already eating something, which could be the cake, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
Actually, it is. It is.
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. There's a candle coming off it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which they put candles in pizzas, I'm sure. But yeah.
I guarantee they did.
Yeah. So he's eating that, and then Raphael makes this comment. He says we put this poor SOB out of his misery. Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. Just call me Dr. Kevorkian. And
such a 90s reference. I love it.
It's such a 90s reference. And he raises his sigh aloft to completely, like, you know, lobotomize. Well, not really lobotomize. His head's already gone. But to basically put it into this dude. And his head starts screaming. His head, by the way, is on the table, like separate from him. Starts saying, danger, danger. Host organism is imperiled. And Mikey's like, guys, something's going on. And yeah, Raphael's like, what? What's it gonna do? Bite me? I ain't worried about this. And then we get what I fear every time I plug anything in or out of an electric socket.
You live in fear of the flaboosh.
Yeah,
that may go down.
Yes, the flaboosh, and just getting blown out. And again, the teeth work here. You see his teeth, and that's so terrifying.
Oh, so good. Oh my god. I like. Yeah. And okay. So when things are complicated, right? the top panel. Sometimes it's not that panel. That panel is very clean, but like when things are complicated with a lot of line work and negative space and white, you're kind of like, ugh. Here in these like really pivotal, like brutal shots, like the opening page of this comic, it's highly effective. It's so good. Like it, there's a lot going on. And I love that panel. There's that Kirby crackle on the edge of it.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's just like so cool, and it just,
and
then you got some T2 vibes on that face right now. You know what I'm saying? Like all the children's skin were like burnt paper. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's my background on my
now.
computer. But yeah, but what I love about this is like when you're reading it, you're like, oh, Mikey's eating cake. Oh, this makes a Dr. Kevorkian reference. Everything's being lighthearted and jovial, and then your boy Raphael, like according to the movie One, he's the leader of the team, at least in that one song, and he's just, this is turtle number 2, Ryan, burn up like a dang old piece of toast.
I mean, meat grinder begins.
Meat grinder begins. Well, thankfully, your boy Michelangelo's quick on that chucking, and he just,
how brutal is that?
Boom. Just gets him right on the nose. And that's the worst place to hit a cyborg. Like, wherever their brain is, it doesn't matter, but you get their nose. That's Rex 1 will tell. Well, Rex 1's not a cyborg, but he's got cousins that are, and they'll tell you. The family reunion. Then and we see Leo chiming in, and he goes, "You just shot your last wad, whatever you are. Meet my katana," and cuts off the arm completely of this android or cyborg. That's it. And so Leo then proceeds to just slice and dice and just turn this cyborg into
is more that offset.
coleslaw.
This is more of that offset humor, though, right? You've got like it slices, it dices, it cuts through tin cans. It's still sharp enough to make coleslaw, and like just like chop, 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 like lettering up top. And it's a little bit more of that counterpoint. Something just serious, like really, really serious happened.
Yeah.
And we got like another turtle, Leo this time of all turtles, right? Leo of anybody. Making jokes like
which
about the Ginsu knife and stuff, which is like, kind of like, once again, it's an interesting flavor. You know what I mean? A little bit of like, oh, that's kind of strange.
And but see, it's funny though too, because this reference, I believe, is a reference to movie 2, where Leonardo slices the pizzas, if I'm not mistaken. It might not be movie 2. It might have been movie 1, actually. Yeah, I think it's still movie 1, where the pizza lands on Splinter's face, and then the "you killed my brother, you dirty rat," that was also from movie 1 as well. So it's very interesting that they're making these references in this book. But what's interesting that I just noticed too is that look at that soaked in blood, those katanas, like, or some sort of juices. That is nuts. And
pretty great. Yeah.
You see your boy Raphael in the back with his head on fire, essentially. And then this is probably, if Donnie didn't get you in the feels, this is definitely gonna get you. Raphael, let me see here. Boom, there you go. Right there. That's your boy Raphael. Like,
dude,
crude but rude, or whatever you want to call it.
What?
Yeah. He says, he turns around and goes, "It hurts, Leo. It hurts bad. And I can't see very well. How does it look?" And he looks like the Toxic Avenger, essentially, right now.
It's just rough.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's a panel it's a panel you have to see to know. Like, we're not gonna be able to describe it to you like the way that you need to see it if you're not seeing it right now. It is epic.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible
and really intense. Yeah.
And so Mikey tries to comfort Raphael and tells him that you probably won't be voted the world's sexiest man this year, Raphael. So let's see if we got some Band-Aids, which I'm sorry to tell you, Mikey, the Band-Aids you're going to need a lot of them. Yeah. But then we get a very cool image of Splinter down here in the bottom panel, which is awesome.
Save that for your Splinter tattoo spank bank.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just that as a tattoo would look sick, dude. It looks so good.
Like if you were in a metal band and you put that as your logo or your cover of your record, you'd sell many copies. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
So Splinter just is like, he's in this like like stance, like he's floating, like almost like Dalsim whenever Dalsim
Absolutely.
teleports.
Yep, absolutely.
And his feet are
Absolutely.
touching, and he's got his hands all clawed and stuff. He looks amazing. But it's also not like a full representation of him, because we find out that this is him on the astral plane, which Splinter is, a constant, a frequent flyer, if you will. And so
he is.
and so he tells Leo to hush, puts Leo in hush mouth, and he explains that I was drugged, my body and conscious mind are comatose. Fortunately, it is similar to the spiritual state I achieved during meditation, like he did in Live from My Deathbed from Japan,
Absolutely.
years ago that we did, Mirage Volume 1. And he says, and my soul self was able to escape to the astral plane. And yeah, so then he goes on to explain that my captors are traveling north and west, and the terrain below is hilly and wooded. Your brother Donatello is no longer accompanying us.
No,
I love that, because that's like a text message that you'd get from your parents. Like,
absolutely. Excuse me? What?
So, he explains that he escaped the helicopter, and he experienced great pain, and I lost track of him, which is nuts. At this point, Pimiko is alerted by one of the other cyborgs that the rat is floating. And he's telling Leo, he's like, unfortunately, I have been discovered. I shall attempt to contact you later. And this reminds me of like, it's amazing. It reminds me of how, and I don't want to go into the whole story of it because we talked about it before on the show, but how your brother Shane, when your house caught on fire, or almost caught on fire because you had the candle lit, Splinter is speaking very much like how your brother Shane would speak. Like, there's an issue in the house.
There's an issue in Ryan's room.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Shane? It's on fire.
It's
his like words. So
Ryan's room is no longer accompanying us if we don't hurry. That's what Shane would be saying. So anyway, so she's explaining to them what's going on. His soul self is roaming the astral plane. Stop him. So they knock him out. And
she does say really fast something you missed. She says, incredible. He must be at least a 7th level ninja to accomplish that trick.
Yeah,
she quantifies that a minimum 7th level ninja master is Hamada Yoshi.
Yeah, so that's minimal. So like you can traverse the astral plane, but if you get a knife in your kimono in the back, like while you're trying to bout, you can't do that.
Yes, well,
you can go on the astral plane.
They kick the bum out. They kick the bum out. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I guess you got to get at least level 12 to be able to like undo the knife that's stuck through your kimono.
Yeah,
so you can't bow for the sensei.
Could you? I want to talk about that real quick for half a second. Could you imagine like Orokosaki being like, he's probably telling one of his other friends, like, so I'm gonna get that Hamada Yoshi. Like, I'm gonna get the bum kicked out. What's your plan?
Yes.
I'm gonna put a knife in the back of his shirt in front of everyone. Like the highest grand order of master ninjas who know to look for this stuff, while they're right in front of me, I'm gonna take a knife and put it in his shirt through the wall, so he can't. And that friend's got to be like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." Like, you can't do that. And then, sure enough, he did. He's like, "Hold my sake" or whatever, and he's like, and then got him. And that's nuts.
Like Oroku Carl, the guy right next to him, was like, "Yeah, nah, man. Like,
Oroku Carl,
that ain't gonna work."
Oh my god.
Oroku Carl was like, yeah, no, man. Like that's not
that's
like
not.
That's just called a Tonto blade through the back of his kimono, and this whole thing's made of bamboo, and he's gonna pull that out and be like, you see what he did?
Right.
And he's also, and then I like to believe that Shredder then called the next shot. He goes, oh, not only will he get caught that, and not only will he be hush mouth, but yeah, you're right. He will pull the Tonto out of the wall eventually. And then they'll say he pulls a weapon on the sensei, kick the bum out.
Yeah, he'll get framed for it.
Bro, Oroku Carl was like, you wild for that one too.
Yeah,
not only will it not work, but now you're going to say that you're going to get him for pulling a weapon on the sensei?
Yeah.
And it went down just like that. And like afterwards, I like to imagine like when it happened, all of his evil samurai boys, like all of his evil ninja were around him, all the ones he had corrupted during his time.
Right.
And he did that whole, I'm not a rapper. thing.
Yeah,
Where that video where he falls backwards and they all catch him after he drops that sick line. Like the minute they're like, I say, kick the bum out. Your boy's like, that's the wrong number. Oh, and like falls back and like some guy runs across like screaming
a foot soldier does.
A foot soldier. Even a foot soldier runs across like
But like so but this is Image Comics, Splinter, so we don't know if that's how that happened, but we do know that he can traverse the astral plane much like he could in Mirage, which is
at least a 7th level ninja. Absolutely.
At the very least, he can look cool as hell doing it, and he did.
Yeah,
and
dude.
So Splinter goes, farewell, my son. Fair. Leo's like, Master. He's like, oh my God, he's gone. And we get this look of Leo right here.
Love it.
Again, a lot of teeth. And like, it's nuts. And now this is where our book ends. And so, I think this is a pretty nuts cliffhanger.
The fact that we missed a page has me at least so shook now that I'm like, is this the last page?
Yeah.
Is there
a
page?
I've been keeping an eye
on. I got one eye on you and one eye on Rob Thomas and the other eye on a chat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching the chat. So Mitch Fletcher did send over the panel, the page that we were missing. He emailed it to us. Effectively, it is what we described. I mean, I know you can't see it visually, but what it effectively is, and he sent over like just a picture of the colored version. Is that's effectively what happens. Like, there's a lot of cool discussion where Splinter does kind of back it up. He's like, yes, you sometimes wish to fit into man's world, but never forget that this is the life you were born to and how far you've risen above it. And they're all like, oh my God, look at that, dude. These turtles. He says, I discovered these 4 fellows in the sewer yesterday, no doubt abandoned by a bored owner. This could have been your destiny. Which existence would you truly prefer? Then he says, I saved the best surprise for last. I baked you a birthday cake. And then Donnie does say, like, another one of his patented hairball specials. If you guys are smart, you'll stick to the fly, stick to your flies. And he's talking to the turtles.
Yeah.
Like he picked up a baby turtle and he's like, if you guys are smart, you'll stick to the flies. And then he goes to get the cake. And then he looks up and you see these guns and he says, wow, nice guys, nice guns. Are you guys part of the surprise? And they say, happy birthday, freak. Then you turn the page to what we saw, which is his birthday hat getting shredded. Yeah. So it's a cool page. For sure.
It gives you it gives you a little bit more. But still, I don't know. I like just thinking that like, surprise, here's some turtles, but you get no explanation of it. It's a little.
I think when chat was getting like weird about missing the page, it's because it is that vital transition from like, oh hey guys, and then that hat, like the party hat getting shot doesn't hit the same when you just think that Splinter just revealed some turtles.
Yeah. So this is so what this is presented, and this is again the beauty of doing a live podcast is that you got to roll with these punches. So what we'll probably do is between now and next week, when we start reviewing the rest, is that I'm going to try to acquire the actual physical copies because our cool uncle sent us these, and we appreciate our cool uncle, but it's just one of those things where like these are I think IDW just put out all of the Image run under Urban Legends. And
Urban Legends, John talked about it in his email earlier.
Right,
he got that as a gift, and he kind of got them.
Right, and now I'm kind of one of those hardcore or hardcover snobs, so I'm gonna probably just get it for the show purposes, just to double check and make sure. I think though that what we'll do is that we'll still stick with the black and white versions.
We absolutely should,
because that's what it was when it came out, and so that's what we're gonna do. But guys, thank you so much, and Mitch, thank you for the sending that over clutch, like on call. You know what I'm saying? And
on call.
He was there when the shell phone rang. We could count on him, is what he told us. That's what he said. But
it's good.
But real quick, but back to this. So this is pretty much like this is where it ends, at least for us for right now. And if we find out later, we'll cover that on the show too. Definitely, don't worry about that. But I'm pretty sure this is pretty much it. And I love this. Like I think that Leonardo being like just left on this, like just blown out, like Splinter's gone again. And it's neat because this isn't the first time we've seen Splinter be like, you know, held captive, like in any of
Yeah.
the stuff. He's pretty much been a catalyst for the woman on the tracks or whatever, the damsel in distress kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
He's also filled that role, but this one feels a little bit different, and it's probably by design because we already saw, you know, two turtles toasted, if you will, and
Hmm.
like Split. Who's to say that Splinter ain't gonna get got, you know, in a helicopter? You know, we don't know. There's a
I
lot that can
mean,
happen, but
yes.
it's wild, and so I, you know, again, the whole thing when we review it together, I enjoyed a lot more, but it was
Yeah.
there was a lot more to it than on first read, which I appreciate going back through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is done. It's doing that thing that tells you that anything can happen, and so don't get
Yes.
comfortable because, like, you know, things are gonna change, and I'm very anxious to see what issue number 2 is, because, you know, that first issue is like, you know, you got to do that first issue carries a lot of weight. Like, you got to do a lot of work to get through
Yeah.
that first issue, and then after then it's just downhill from there mostly. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think they did a good job. I could see myself being a teen, like what was this, 96? So a teenager, yeah. I was probably
Yeah.
13, I think, and
Mhm.
I could see myself totally
Yeah.
digging this.
I would have been 14
Mhm.
when this comic came out. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that I think this is a great job. What are your final thoughts on this, on the ending of this and everything?
No, I really love it. The art is very severe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's to me, and I love that it is severe and says there's definitely a relation to me metatextually, which I appreciate. Where the art is of the highest contrast. Kind of in hand with the storytelling and the style desiring to be in very stark contrast with what the turtles you've seen before, right? Like
Right.
there's definitely like a two concepts holding hands there, where things are very stark and severe, and usually honestly very clean. I think that one thing that happens in the art that I kind of noticed is that a lot of times the panels that are the most confusing are the ones where they're attempting to do a lot of hash and shadow on
Mhm.
the characters,
Yeah.
but the backgrounds are very clean and almost non-existent.
Mhm.
That's where you just get a lot of blocks of like ink and
Yeah,
then white,
yeah.
right, background. And once again, this is like you gotta remember. I mean, so you've got Frank Fosco and Eric Larson with Chance Wolf, kind of like tackling this style. And there's always a first for something.
Mhm.
So like we may see things get a little cleaner because there are some pages and panels in this comic that are clean as hell and look great.
Yeah.
There are just some panels that are a little confusing.
Mhm.
But when we go back, so that's kind of my thought about the art is I do like the severe nature of it. I love the idea
Yeah.
of the return to black and white. I think that's was a really solid choice.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, a bold choice. That is a bold choice. Uh, in an era of like colors were getting more and more ridiculous as you went
Oh.
in this
Oh yeah.
era.
Yeah.
And everything was turned up to 12 when it came to color saturation and stuff like that. It was a very colorful time. Gone were the pastels of the 80s and early 90s, and you
Mhm.
get these bright colors. Um, so I think it was a bold choice to go black and white. But yeah, I really like it so far. It plays for keeps. I think that it's really cool. I'm excited to see what's going to happen
Oh
moving
yeah.
forward. But yeah, two turtles down, like you know what I mean? Like one down, we don't even know what his status is, and one with half his face blown off is a
Yeah.
pretty intense way to start number one. And I think they definitely intended that to be the case. But
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see a couple things, how they're going to play up these new turtles personalities and how they're going to try to be more mature with them. We talked earlier about the issue of like objectification and other things that we're trying to add now to show these turtles are mature, that they are
Right.
attracted to people, and
Mhm.
that they have discussions about this. Um, I'd be interested to see how that evolves and how it
Yeah.
changes. And also, I'm very interested to see the art evolution.
Mm.
The longer that the combo that Fosco Larson Wolf combo starts to work on this stark vision for the turtles, how refined do they make it?
Right.
That's like I'm really looking forward to down the line. But no, as a first issue, if I would have bought this on the stand and been like, yeah, I know. Like, if I was 14 and I was like, yeah, I know these guys from the animated series. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Instead of my X-Men this week, I'll buy this guy. And
Yeah.
then I buy it. I would leave it going like, bro, that was a dark vision. You
That
know what I'm
was.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would be looking forward to issue 2. So we'll see. But overall, I really liked it. And
Yeah.
I
Me
think
too.
I can see now, and the last thing I'll say is I can see now in context with Larson inking this book, right, and like drawing that cover and like working so hard to like bring the turtles to Image and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I even understand more now his frustration during the publishing of Body Count. Like, I
Oh
see even
yeah. Yeah.
more where it's full color and like it's just the most grotesque art and it's so crazy and people are
Yeah.
like, this is a travesty, or oh my god, Eric Larson, you're the best ever, and he's like, all right, my book looks so different than this book. Like, he's probably inking this book and like someone's reading him letters and he's like, I can't. I just I don't know what I'm gonna
Right.
do with these people. I just like you know what I mean? Like, the people that love this
Yeah.
are probably might not like my book. The people that hate this might like my book. I have no idea. But
Right.
huge ups to Eric Larson and the whole team for bringing this into being. This is
Yeah.
this is a massive occasion and a big undertaking, and I think it's a big
Oh,
chapter in
absolutely.
the journey. And I really look forward to seeing what comes of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, down the line for sure.
Oh, definitely. Well, did you like this, guys? Let us know. We need to know. We want to know what your
We need
thoughts
to know. I
were.
need to
Like,
know.
like
Need to
we've
know.
like thanks to everyone in the chat that's been telling us like what their journey was with Image and with the TMNT at this time. Like, we appreciate that. And you can let us know in the chat. You can let us know in comments. You can email us turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You could also find all of our stuff on the internet. Once I get the website done, which I did update,
Yep.
it's in our
He did it.
possession
Update.
fully. I just
Update.
have to
No, we
get all the stuff reworked again. But
yeah,
yeah,
the much promised changes did occur.
yes,
I want to give my own huge thank you to Eric Crosby for he is birthed. If I birthed the first website, Eric like birthed our second child
yeah,
when he got this converted and transferred, and it was weighing heavily on him knowing that,
yeah,
like, he was in charge of making sure that everybody gets the episodes again in audio
yeah,
form.
yeah,
I know that we still have some hangups. We had a post earlier that was talking about things not being available past a certain episode number and stuff, and
right,
and that will all resolve itself as we continue to like make sure this is good. The great thing is, like Eric was saying, and I want to congratulate him again, is like the site had a time where it wasn't completely under our control. It was, but we had to like go through things to kind of make it happen. And Eric's done all this work to make sure that like none of these problems kind of happen again, like especially a long-term problem like we had recently.
right, right. Yeah, it's one of those things where a friend of ours was helping us out, and I didn't want to be a
Yeah.
burden on them to do certain
Mhm.
things, but they were tremendous, and so shout out to Chad. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Chad. We love you
Absolutely,
dearly,
Chad.
and
Yeah.
appreciate all you've done for us, and sincerely thank you. But now it's completely, Senpai gave us the reins, and so
Senpai gave
that's
us the reins to our website. That's true.
yeah. So I'm working on that. So hopefully it's all going to come together, and it slowly but surely will. And
Yeah.
the home of the internet will return. So, but in the meantime, you can still try to
Ooh.
go to the website's still there. It's just it looks a little weird. Turtlesoupshow.com. There's going to be links to all of our
Yes.
bands and podcasts and everything else that we do. That's up there. And yeah, but if you want to stay in touch with all these other wonderful Turtletarians and everything like that, you can do that on Facebook. Go to Facebook, look for Turtle Soup Group, find us there, and join up. And lots of cool people in there talking. A lot of people that you see in chat here are there, and it's a good community and a lot of fun people there. So it's a good time. Also, follow us on Instagram, Turtle Soup Show, with the underscores between each word. And there's something else I'm missing. Oh, YouTube, which is where some of you are watching us right now. If you like, subscribe,
Yeah.
and share the page or whatever you got to do, but liking and subscribing really helps us out tremendously.
It does.
And
It really does.
yeah, it's I think we mentioned it before, but like whenever our videos do really well, they show fireworks like on our studio
They
page,
do.
and it's
Yeah.
delightful. And so I really
It's pretty
love that.
great. And
So
you know what? The
thank y'all.
channel's growing little by little, and we appreciate everybody who's subscribed already and who is kind of like gone here, joined us. A big love for everybody that's been in the live chat.
Yeah.
The live chats have been getting like so good, like so good.
Oh yeah.
They're
Oh
like
yeah.
this episode. I understand it's a big episode, like it's a big one, but just the running commentary of people talking under it as I kept checking it, like during
Yeah.
your review part, I was looking and I'm like, and that's how I found out we missed a page because I was like
Yeah.
reading these
Oh
people
yeah.
and they're like, oh my god, no, and like it's really cool. So big thanks, and yeah, I would make the plea again. If you're an audio listener, you're like, look, man, don't mess with me, bro. Like, listen,
Yeah.
don't mess with me. I'm just listening to the podcast. Like this is how I've always listened to it, guys. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
not a YouTube guy. I would say if you're on a Thursday night, you know what I'm saying, 8
Mm-hmm.
Eastern, and you're kind of like, dude, I would get in this chat and hang out at least to come in here and make contact with your Turtletarians and see what they're
Oh
talking
yeah.
about during this live chat, because you want to be part of this conversation. It's like super
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So
It's
sometimes those things are kind of hard to like think about. You're like, well, yeah, I know that's there. I do this all the time. You get paralyzed. Like, I know that's there, but like, I don't know, man. I'm just like doing my thing. I got this other
mm.
shit. But like, it is worth like getting out and checking it out.
Oh
So
yeah.
and thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are great.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for listening, podcast listeners. And thank you for our patrons. Guys, we could not do this without our patrons. Our patrons are wonderful and very patient and supportive.
Yes.
And we sincerely appreciate you all. I've sent y'all emails and messages, those who are getting certain rewards and whatnot. Be sure to check your Patreon messages and stuff to make sure that you give me all your information that's needed. And and again, if you are listening, be sure to always be sure, and if not, it's okay. We'll get in contact with you and we'll find out. But if you ever want to be prefer us to call you by a certain name or screen name or whatever it is, just let us know. It's not a problem at all. We will, we're very accommodating. And but yeah, and yeah. But if you want to do that, if you want to be a patron, if you want to be a part of Patron Ranger, you can do that. Go to patreon.com. Find Turtle Soup's done been making a podcast for. In October, it'll be 10 years. Is that right? And
yeah.
No.
So, 10 years. We'll hit 300 this year. Episode 300, and it will be 10 years.
Yeah.
Of Turtle Soup. So
we
get
talked.
Ready.
We talked last night, and we've got some things in the percolator for 300. So get ready for that.
Oh, we do.
And
oh man.
Yeah, and so we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get on our way to make sure we've got those verified every page of these issues for the next episode.
Yeah, Mitch dropped some stuff in the chat really fast, just as an update. He's looking at it and he's like, "Well, I looked at these scans of the originals, and unfortunately, the only way you get a full issue of each of these is through the Urban Legend issues. Apparently, I guess." I want some more clarification, Malik, if you can help us out. But
we will be in contact.
It looks like all of any cool uncle situations are compromised, in black and white. Which
so
that gives me the amount of hives like growing all under like my shirt on my body right now. They're just like spreading through. I'm like incomplete. Like it's getting really bad. So Malik, hit us up, email us, because you seem like you have a lock on this, to let us know, and we will figure out what we're going to do about this, but it's going to be exciting.
It is, one way or the other. It's going to be fun, and thank you guys for being here with us again so much, and we'll catch you next time. So
absolutely.
Else time.
Elsie time.